City Morning Show.
A pleasant good morning and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's a pleasure without no measure to be here with you on a beautiful, beautiful Monday morning as late great Granny Miss Lillian Crawford and I say beautiful man, a beautiful morning. First and foremost, I want to thank God it's another beautiful day inside the country, I believe, and wherever you are, just that you're fine in your neck of the woods.
Good morning to all the beautiful people who are watching us or listening to us this morning. Buenos días. Un gusto saludarles.
And by the way, my name is Dylan Jones. We're going to go directly into our prayers before we add all the shenanigans to the show this morning. We need to give thanks to the Almighty for being here.
And it has become an integral part of the show.
Definitely.
And I'm glad that we have taken the initiative of including it as part of the show, because at the end of the day, we all need guidance. We all need to recognize and accept also that all the blessings come from our Creator, and that at the end of the day, we need to ask Him to please continue giving us those blessings.
That's right. I agree with that.
Padre, te damos las gracias por todas tus bendiciones que nos das. Nos das la vida, nos das la buena salud, nos das las fuerzas. Son tres cosas muy importantes, Padre, que yo te agradezco porque hoy puedo caminar, puedo venir a chambear por mi propio dinero, ganándome el dinero humildemente y dignamente, con mucho respeto. Gracias por eso, Padre. Te agradezco todo lo que haces dentro para nosotros, dentro de ese gran amor que tienes para nosotros. Es más, nos tienes paciencia, nos toleras, nos guías, nos enseñas, nos proteges, nos perdonas absolutamente gratis, si así lo queremos nosotros y lo pedimos sinceramente. Padre, también provees para la justicia en este mundo. Todo dentro de ese gran amor que tienes para nosotros. Te lo agradezco, Padre. Muchas gracias. Te agradezco lo que haces por mi familia, por mis amistades, por mis compañeros de trabajo, por todos, en fin. Y te pedimos que continúes bendiciéndonos y que continúes, Padre, proveendo para que podamos ganarnos el pan del día dignamente y honestamente. Padre, te pedimos, como siempre, para aquellas personas que están pasando por tiempos difíciles, que están enfermos o enfermas en hospitales o en sus casas, o que están pasando por tiempos difíciles emocionalmente o espiritualmente, que necesitan consuelo, que necesitan guía, que necesitan de conforto. Asístelos, Padre. Ayúdalos que ellos entonces puedan encontrar lo que es la paz en sus corazones y en sus vidas. También, Padre, por todos nosotros, que podamos nosotros utilizar todos los dones que tú nos has dado para el beneficio y el bienestar de la humanidad. No solo de nosotros, sino por todos. Dejar de ser tan egoístas y tan egocéntricos y tan arrogantes y tan soberbios y tan prepotentes. Y en fin, empezar a pensar en todos en vez de solo uno. Padre, ayúdanos. Bendícenos hoy y que tengamos un día, una semana preciosa. Te lo agradecemos, Padre, te bendecimos, te adoramos. Amén.
Thank you very much, Emmanuel. We want to remind you can call us at 302-2170 or 626-4882 or Emmanuel at phone number
635-7436.
We go straight into our weather report for today, Monday the 17th. As of 6 a.m. this morning, general situation is relatively moist and unstable conditions prevail. The 24 forecast cloudy at times with a few showers and isolated thunderstorms, mainly along the coastal areas this morning, inland this afternoon, and over south tonight. Winds will be blowing north to northeast at 5 to 15 knots. Sea state light chop to choppy. There is no weather advisory out for crafts, small crafts. And the temperatures in the highs of the coast today 31 degrees Celsius, 88 degrees Fahrenheit inland, 32 degrees Celsius 92 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills 26 degrees Celsius and 78 degrees Fahrenheit. There'll be a low tonight on the coast 25 degrees Celsius, 77 degrees Fahrenheit, inland 22 degrees Celsius, 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and in the hills 18 degrees Celsius, 65 degrees Fahrenheit. The tides, there'll be a high tide at at 11:01 a.m. and a low at 4:29 p.m. There'll be another high at 10:41 p.m. and a low at 5:29 a.m. on Tuesday. The sunrise this morning, the sun will rise tomorrow morning at 5:47 a.m. The sun will set at 5:29 p.m. The moon will set at 7:13 a.m. and the moon will rise at 7:10 p.m. That's your weather report brought to you through the kind courtesy of Vegas Imports, German Vegas and Sons, and we go to Emmanuel for the weather report in Spanish.
And thank you very much. Muchas gracias, compañeros Delon. Y muy buenos días. Muy buenos días. Un gran gusto saludarles. Hoy es lunes y hoy es el 17 de octubre. Y sí, sé que mucha gente tiene muchas preguntas en su mente, vamos a tratarlos tan pronto, pero primero, lo primero, como dicen, lo primero. Tenemos que dar reporte del tiempo. Hoy, este reporte es para hoy 17. Compañeros, entre 2 meses y una semana ya estamos en la Navidad. ¿Así? ¡Pau! Este reporte generado a las 6 de la mañana indica la situación general de la siguiente forma. Condiciones relativamente húmedas e inestables están predominando sobre nuestro país. Para las siguientes 24 horas, nublado por momentos, con algunos chubascos, tormentas aisladas, esencialmente por la costa esta mañana, en el interior del país hoy por la tarde y luego sobre el sur del país hoy por la noche. Así que hoy tenemos la gran posibilidad o la probabilidad de que tengamos lluvia por la tarde. Los vientos del norte-noreste de 5 a 15 nudos, el estado del mar ligeramente agitado, light chop to choppy. Y no hay advertencias en lugar, y les quiero decir de que gracias a Dios no tenemos ningún huracán al momento, pero tenemos que tener el ojo abierto, dice, como el ojo al Cristo, porque es un tiempo cuando tenemos que cuidarnos muchísimo, porque pasan los frentes de frío que entre poco van a empezar a pasar, y tan pronto este fin de semana, y se estancan en el Caribe, y luego en el mismo sistema de baja presión del frente se forma en un huracán, si así las condiciones sí son buenas para que se forme un huracán. Bueno, se espera que para martes y martes por la noche no tengamos cambio, que veamos esencialmente las mismas condiciones. Las temperaturas por la costa, las altas 88, en el interior del país 92 y por las colinas 78 grados. Las bajas por la costa 77, en el interior del país 72 y por las colinas únicamente 65 grados. Y compañeros, las mareas, una alta a las 11:01, una baja a las 4:29 hoy por la tarde, otra marea alta a las 10:41 hoy por la noche y otra marea baja a las 5:29 mañana martes. El sol se oculta hoy a las 5:29, el sol sale a las 5:47 mañana por la mañana. Y de igual forma la luna se oculta, se acaba de ocultar hace 1 minuto, 7:13, pero sale hoy por la noche a las 7:10. Y le damos las gracias a Forecaster Gordon y también a nuestros patrocinadores, como siempre, German Vega, a Gaspar Vega, Hungryman Barbecue, Advent Transportation y a Aqualife Water, y a ustedes, compañeros, por su sintonía. Son las 7:14, Delon.
Yes, I want to remind you about the annual Tacos Festival that comes up on the 27th of November right here in Orange Walk, where it's going to be explosive. Come on, spend the day in Orange Walk, and all you can eat tacos chicken, pibil, pork, beef, you name it. We have it. Seafood is going to be there. It's going to be lots of competitions for family and friends to have fun. Ice cold beers and soft drinks and games galore.
So when exactly is it going to be?
The 27th of November.
Of November, not October.
November.
That's next month?
That's right. Next month we're getting the news out to you so you could plan your schedule ahead of time and say, you know what?
Busy schedule.
Yeah, the 27th. This is
Okay.
the Orange Tacos Festival, and it's going to be big at the Banquitas House of Culture area. That's at the riverside in Orange Walk Town. So look out for it. Quite a lot of people look forward to coming to the Tacos Festival in Orange Walk. People make the excursion to come and welcome you to come and have fun on that day. 16 after 7, we take a commercial break and we'll be right back.
Tired of something going wrong when you're buying top-up? Digicel now makes it fast and easy. Purchase your top-up with our new Digicel QR code app. As easy as scanning a code on your phone. Just go to the Google Play or Apple Store and install the free Digicel QR code app. Follow a few simple steps to create your unique QR code with the prepaid number and the amount you want to top up. Go to your nearest participating top-up agent, scan your code, and you're done. Credit added. Top up from $1 to $500. No more credit being sent to the wrong number. Visit our website for more information. Want more? When you purchase credit using the QR code, you get a chance to win an LTE device at the end of the month. You also get a chance to win $20 extra credit daily. So start using the QR code app today.
Expect more, get more. Always more with Digicel.
Can the accommodation agreement award portion be used to fund government projects? Well, Mr. Man, Amon Courtney, he did say no. Well, make I set the record straight. Out of all the money where the court award for BTL, the biggest amount that for the illegal accommodation agreement where Musa and the PUP they signed. When the government and Ashraf gone to court, the two sides may agree that the money from the accommodation agreement may want put in our charitable trust for fund projects for the Belizean people. But not take my word for it, the director saw in this document with Sam, the Telemedia Acquisition Settlement Act. Make I read it for you. The balance shall be applied in accordance with such requests for grants as the government may reasonably make to fund projects to help the people of Belize. That clear as day. Stop listening to people with their Ashcraft payroll. The record set. Boom!
Mr. Briseno claims that he wants to imprison anyone named in immigration wrongdoing.
Once we get into government, we are going to go through this, and anybody that can be held criminally liable, we are going to hold them liable, and if they have to go to jail, they are going to go to jail. Enough is enough.
But even your name is there. I signed for recommending a visa. I signed. So, international person, I can't. But it's there in the visa one. That's my point. It's in the visa one. I think that's. I saw it once. I saw it.
I did that. I don't remember ever. Please show me the page.
Are Johnny and the PUP ready to lead?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Get serious. Get bopped. Sugar City Morning.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Emmanuel, quite a wonderful weekend. I must say we had weather-wise here in Orange Walk. It never rain out and all of that. So Saturday evening, boy, we got and a half shower, no?
Did
Saturday,
we?
Yeah,
Saturday afternoon,
Saturday.
really? I don't recall that.
Yeah. But
I don't recall.
yeah, even kind of just and
Well,
I recall
for all
I
intents
was
and purposes, yeah. You see, sometimes it rains in Orange Walk Town, but it doesn't rain in Child Farm. And that's generally what happens. The other day when I was going to town, I saw that the road was pretty wet, and then I questioned, it says, yes, it did drizzle in town, and then it turns out that it was not drizzling in Child Farm. You know? But we're going to have a little change of weather, not a drastic change of weather, but just a slight change of weather come this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is, going to have, I think, the first cold front, which is going to come down. It sounds like where I'll be right now, but this is advance notice. But it's not going to be cold. No, it is not. It's just a reduction in the temperature. You know? We're going to have lows in maybe 68, 67 degrees.
that's cool enough for me.
Yeah, that's cool enough.
I put on my Jim Hughes Christmas. Yeah, back home.
And highs in the 80s, and that's going to be cool. And then we're also going to have clear blue skies with a high pressure system in place. So it's going to be beautiful this weekend.
Well, definitely we look forward to that, no? The strike.
Which team Reeves going to play? Chestnut Road singing an open fire?
No, that's for America.
Oh, okay. Because I don't want to hear no let it snow.
Holy Town of Bethlehem.
Oh, okay. Because I find it so inappropriate that we did that. Oh, let it snow, let it snow. We did right there is swelter in the heat. You know?
Yeah.
Sweltering heat.
Yeah.
So inappropriate.
Well, again, the strike continues. The
He put in trouble.
yeah, he a put in trouble, but I can't pay him no money.
Can't pay man.
The man is back again in pressure. Luke Palacio.
I know. Dylan, I think that we have, and this is just on a personal note, guys. I am, like I said, very, very, very disappointed that we have not had a break in the, not a break, but in the break in the industrial action, really.
A breakthrough.
A breakthrough. Yes, thank you very much. That's what I wanted to say. And I'm very disappointed. Very, very disappointed. I will be honest with you. I will be very honest with you. The PM has shown some sort of flexibility, but the union management seems to be very inflexible and seems to be very demanding. The big question is, until when? Gathered that, my personal hope was for this weekend, this week Monday, that everybody was going to go back to school and we have an agreement, a promise for an agreement looming, but unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, it does not happen that way. The strike is continuing by the teachers. I don't know how you feel about that, but there are many parents there are the same parents who have promised the support to the teachers are now saying, yes, I gave you that support, but now I think you need to call it off. I don't know if last week or so I said, let them demonstrate. They have a right to demonstrate. Let them do it because it's something that we cannot stop. They have a right to demonstrate, but at the end of the day, folks, it's only you, the parents, who can make this happen. And if you, the parents, stand up for the rights of your kids, because your kid is the one who's losing out, not the teacher. The kid is losing out. Unless those days that they didn't work are being discounted from them, which I gather that it will, Is that the latest thing?
That's what we heard, no? But
So-
I think that right
But
there.
then again, if you never work, how the hell do you expect to get paid?
But that right there, I think that at the point when they wait for to go to our next level, you know, because that's what that's what they want. That's what Luke want.
That they're not paid. Because then they're going to continue the strike basically on the, because nos descontaron el dinero. Pues si puchica, si no trabajaste, ¿para cómo te voy a pagar? ¿Ah?
You see, Emmanuel, this thing, this strike here really put a lot of effect, you know. You know, if I tell you something, you'll find it hard to digest. But let me tell you anyway. You know that some school, I know of a school where about 1 or 2 teachers go to school to teach right now, and they left school around 4:30 when they done their work, and these teachers change their uniform and walk home in a casual clothes because they are a little bit on the edge that somebody will tell them something or yes. Yeah.
I find that very difficult to believe. I find that it would be, why it could be violence coming from the teachers themselves or from supporters of the teachers.
Well, I wouldn't point any fingers, but they're afraid they come from somewhere. Put it that way.
Somewhere.
They go home in their casual clothes, man. So that is off because teachers shouldn't be afraid to walk home in their uniform. You got something there for us?
Yes, I do. I do, as a matter of fact, but I can't read this. It's way too small. October 16th, which is yesterday. Muffles Junior College advises students that due to the logistical implications of teacher being on strike, classes are cancelled until further notice. Students are asked to stay informed and engaged. But then that message just doesn't come like that. This comes from some people who are telling us, it says, it's totally unfair for Muffles Junior College. This is a text I'm reading, by the way. Muffles Junior College is stealing our money because we're not going to get any refunds from them. We have paid them hundreds and thousands of dollars for the but you see, it will have to be a pass the buck on situation because the administration says, I can't refund you money because it's the teachers who are
On strike.
on strike.
Yeah.
And the teachers will tell you, me never know none of your money, you don't pay me none of your money.
You pay the
You
administration.
pay the administration.
Morning, there will be demonstration here in San Pedro Village. We want that class begins. Yes. Then again, too, we know that they have a demonstration here this morning in Orange Walk.
Is there?
Yes, it's not a picket anymore, it's a demonstration.
It's that we, the parents of Orange Walk, want our children in school. The BNT are now using our kids as hostages. This is unacceptable, and we're asking our parents to join us as parents in a peaceful demonstration. ¿Por qué me estás diciendo esto? No hay programa esta mañana. ¿Por qué me están diciendo eso? ¿No están por TV?
I'm not sure.
Me están diciendo a las 7:29 que no lo están viendo, no lo están escuchando. Checky, any news? ¿Ah?
We're on.
¿Ah?
We're on.
¿We're on? Ok, nada más estoy diciendo que a estas personas que me están texteando diciendo de que no están viendo el programa. O no lo están escuchando, no lo sé qué es la situación. ¿Ah? Ok. Muy bien. All right, muy bien. Me están diciendo que todo está en orden, compañeros. Simplemente es lo que quizás tienes que tú sintonizar
We
algo,
not,
hacer
we
algo.
not, if you don't put that in TV, then so
You see?
if you don't put that in TV, then gas. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
No tuve nada en el canal.
¿Qué es lo que te estoy diciendo, director?
Thank you.
Okay.
I don't know how they call it, they know they catch it. But anyway, I don't know technician. But again, it's a morning Dylan. Let me try to get up that one there. Because they're coming in early this morning like dogs of war. So morning Dylan, did Johnny cut off your station? We can't see nor hear you guys on TV. Well, on this end, we are shooting signal. But I think this person who texts, they asked the right question. You know? Clara se ve la señal, estamos estimados señores. Some people they catch it and some not they catch it. I don't know if we should take a commercial break.
Yes,
And let's take a break and then we come back. We'll be right back. Let's take a commercial break.
Oh my god, like seriously. By the way,
Get the lowest rates to more cell, business, and home phones on the country's largest network.
My credit lasts longer, so I could keep up to date.
Belize. Check out our brand new website, www.digicel.bz. Get live chat help on any device, the latest in 4G phones, and see what's up with all our awesome Digicel promotions. Log on today.
Johnny Briceño and the PUP went to Belmopan to declare all their assets to the National Assembly. But did they declare everything? Yes, Johnny, bring back the people's money.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field Basketball Court, and the Santa Elena Football Field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Benquevejo Marshallek Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. As we're like a careful watch on the whole situation of what's taking place here. But Emmanuel, what is going on is that, like you rightfully said earlier, parents are getting enough of this strike. Parents have the feeling now that they've been taken advantage of. Remember last week when I mentioned that Nokia were meeting and going out with Luke Palazzo, the answer that already no. The answer is already no, because that's what they have in their minds. They have a mission. They're on a PUP mission. I don't care what they want to call it. They're on a PUP mission to bring down this government, and it is sad to say that the PUP can't do their own kind of work, that they have to have the union to work for them. That is reality.
That is perfectly true. That is perfectly true.
Reality of how I see it.
And we're back on channel 60, I'm being told.
All right, good.
So,
let's take this call.
Yes.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Aló, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Solo queríamos comentar sobre ese cheque que están haciendo los maestros. Y la verdad que nosotros no estamos de acuerdo porque nuestros niños van a salir afectados. Cuando empiezan las escuelas les van a dar sobre tareas, y cuando vengan a hacer las vacaciones para Navidad nos van a dejar salir más tarde, consecuencias que van a pagar nuestros hijos. Ya vamos a tener 2 semanas con que nuestros hijos no van a ir a la escuela y supuestamente va a seguir esto. Yo no sé hasta cuándo va a pasar, pero nosotros no estamos de acuerdo con esto porque yo tengo niños pequeños en infantil y no están aprendiendo nada.
Así es, señora, justamente esa es la situación.
Y la verdad es que los maestros cuando están en las escuelas, ellos piden, y el gobierno en eso, cuando a veces nosotros nos hemos quejado porque pagamos la cuota del baño, y ellos siempre están colectándote que jabón, que papel, que esto, y eso nadie lo ve. Y cuando vayan a empezar las clases, quienes van a sufrir las consecuencias van a ser nuestros hijos, porque los maestros inconformes van a llegar enojados. Y en fin, nosotros estamos pagando el año para que nuestros hijos aprendan y no estamos haciendo nada. Y a nosotros queremos devolver ese tiempo.
Exactamente. Y la cosa es de que los maestros están haciéndose dignos de toda de la piedad del mundo, porque ellos tienen que gastar el dinero de su bolsa, pero estamos escuchando que en la gran mayoría de casos ellos consiguen de vuelta ese dinero de los mismos parientes que contribuyen.
Sí, y entonces yo estoy, ya que ellos están haciendo eso, ¿por qué el gobierno no pone dedo cuando nosotros pagamos el registro para nuestras escuelas? Nos están cobrando tanto para el baño, tanto para esto, y cuando la computación que solo nos dan una vez por el mes y una vez a la semana, y el baño todavía cuando entras a clase que tienen donativo para papel, donativo para jabón, donativo para esto. Nuestros hijos están en las casas sin aprender nada, y a nosotros que nos devuelve el tiempo. Cuando vengan a abrir la escuela, quienes van a sufrir las consecuencias van a ser nuestros hijos. Ahí también nosotros queremos que el gobierno haga algo. No es culpa de nuestros hijos porque ellos no mandaron a nadie a hacer esto. Y estamos pagando nosotros ¿para qué? Eso yo no estoy de acuerdo con eso.
Está muy correcto usted, señora, muy correcta. Y
discúlpame, y cuando ellos tienen su salario, ese día es mediodía de clases, porque los maestros tienen que ir a comprar. Y a nosotros como padres de familia, queremos ir al mercado los sábados, no podemos porque trabajamos de lunes a sábado. Tenemos que esperarlo el domingo cuando ya tal vez las ofertas han pasado. Y nosotros nadie nos responde por eso, muchachos. Nadie. Y se supone que están hasta nuevos maestros que acaban de graduarse, andan en esta cosa. A nosotros no nos importa, hubieran dejado en la escuela un maestro para cada clase, pero las escuelas están cerradas.
Pues sí, te quiero recordar de que hay una demostración a las 8:30 aquí en el centro del pueblo de Orange Rock, si es que quieres unirte o invitar a otras personas, porque aparentemente los padres tienen que ser más vocíferos, los padres tienen que empezar a defender los derechos del niño, porque ustedes no lo hacen, ¿quién lo hace? ¿Quién lo va a hacer para ustedes?
Es que nosotros no estamos que a favor de PUP, que a favor de UDP, que a favor de nadie. Estamos a favor de la familia y la educación de nuestros hijos, porque hubiésemos estado de acuerdo, que hubieran ido a hacer lo que hubieran ido a hacer, ¿no? Pero hubieran dejado las escuelas abiertas, aunque sea con un maestro por cada clase. Porque si un maestro, muchachos, estudia para ser maestro, es lo que le están negando a nuestros hijos. Y otra cosa, también, están viendo su salario, pero vaya a ver cuántos maestros enojados llegan a las escuelas a veces. No puedes ir como padre a reclamar porque la principal lo que te dice es, ay, es que ella está ya en sus 40 años, ya está en su menopausia, tiene problemas en el hogar, y a nosotros que nos importa, pero queremos que le den también. Si ellos exigen tanto, esta vez queremos que el gobierno les exija que sean más educados con los padres de familia y que también no sean tan irrespetuosos con nuestros hijos, porque a veces en la escuela hasta prohíben que uno vaya temprano para no ver cómo tratan a nuestros hijos. A veces hasta les gritan. Yo no entiendo porque entonces si se gradúan como maestros, que también traten a nuestros hijos con cariño, porque entonces para qué el maestro si llega con problemas a la escuela, ya ese se está saliendo de todo, porque yo pienso que esto ya rebasó el límite. Nuestros hijos van a estar en la escuela, en la casa ahí, sin aprender nada, muchachos. Esto no es justo.
No es justo.
Y mire, no vamos a estar, pues entonces no les va a gustar que los papás les hagamos un strike a los maestros, porque nos dejan a los hijos ya casi llegando a Navidad y con extra humor. Y los papás no tenemos ni voto ni nada en esto. Porque cuando nos paramos a decir algo a la principal ahí se enoja.
Es que se enoja.
Católico, si usted ya sabía que la escuela es católica. Si sos cristiano, usted sabía que esto es aquí. No, muchachos. Necesitamos que alguien pare a ellos porque tienen que haber, aunque sea un maestro en la escuela para atender a nuestros hijos. Eso es lo único que yo les pido, muchachos. Y sí, nos vamos a unir a esto porque es demasiado.
Gracias por esa llamada.
Buenos días.
A usted, que tenga bonito día. Pues ahí esa es una llamada auténticamente preocupada por el bienestar. Dijo muchísimo. Señora, le agradezco la llamada y ojalá hay más parientes encuentren el valor de poder llamarnos, porque algunos están que tengo miedo que no lo quiero hacer porque nadie reconocen mi voz. Pues
not only that, Emmanuel,
¿te va a importar eso?
A lot of them.
¿Tienes miedo de cerrar tu voz, de abrir tu boca para defender los derechos de tu hijo? No.
A lot of them are a bit, I wouldn't say scared, but they choose to hold back a little because they don't want some parents expense, right, that when the kids go back to school, they don't want nobody to take advantage of the people. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yes, good morning, guys. I want to put at least 2 cents on the Alex, no? With the time about Mr. Luke Palacio, right? You know, he got $6.5 million from our trust. Because I'm a retired public officer. Because at that time, Mr. Esquivel, the former Prime Minister, through the arrangements 95, 96, 97, he put it in our chairs. And at the time, we only had like less than $1 million worth. So the government, last 2 years ago, gave back the money to the trust, which reached almost to a 6.5 million. No, he is about good governance. Where is my money? I need it. He don't have it. But we as public officers would tend to forget those things. So I'm saying, why, I mean, that was look for the man case. I mean, after where they took 6.5 million, you know where he go? He come down in God, see on the same BNQ president right now, Gallo, and then they said that the consultation. That was not a consultation. That was for their agenda. Listen to me and done. So we don't right there. We want to give them money, man, loans, we want building. That was not, I know that it's no good, you know. But give our money back, what we entitled at that time.
Do you know if anybody who have gotten loans or got money or bills?
You got no, I got my computer and teacher get $1,000, like $15,000 to $20,000. No, I went the other day and tried to give a loan because they say I give a loan. You know what the loan they want to give me? $2,000 they want to give me. No, I have to pay 10% of the loan. So where, all right, let's say like say $2 million down towards loans. How much is a 10%? How much you think? Now $200,000. So, but who he get accountability now? He have a good governance. Who he tell us how much money he don't spend on out of that trust?
Yeah, well.
But no, but I mean, I just let me get clear on this action because people forget that. I mean, I don't want concern because I am affected. I'm retired public officer. No, this one I just the other day. I think he was a script down Mr. Gallo, I call it BMTU teacher right there. He scraped down that being joined like 96 or whatever, so he's part of that money. But he never applied for that time, because I know it's thing. But next thing I noticed that the BMTU said in broke, they know in broke. I hope they'll take my money and give them for this massive demonstration I got Wednesday. They can't understand them broke. And where I get money from? I hope they don't take the money from
the workers union, no?
Do you know that as a fact that they're broke, sir?
No, I know they were I talk about the BNTU. They know, they not broke the law, the money. You know, I'm at the demonstration like Wednesday where I come, you cast them or people $250,000, $200,000.
They cried on the low on cash.
On cash. But no, you're the one that calls down, then the response for because they law. So I hope they don't take my money for giving for Wednesday right there, because if they run low, how far you think they run? After I look at it, when you charge them money. Salon, I mean, come on. Mr. Parato, give me an accountability, then what about Mr. Dimbago, good governance? You have to start yourself from your house. You have to clean your house first, then you will tell me. I asked Mr. Parato right now, make it come and tell we, the workers, the retired public officers, where for we money there. And how you spend it, how much money you get. Because if you think about last time, you say you want to build one cap and one thing down, one something that BF can, because a lot of BF may involve at times, and build something up police, can build something, there's nothing yet. When the money is there. And you give loan, and you give loan to your preferred teachers. I know a teacher right there where I know. You get a couple $1,000.
For orange rock?
I don't want Jack. My teacher. Can you see him nice up and go tell you? But he's looking at loan already. No, can't do it. And he do not buy. He even let him job join the public service like 8 years ago.
Yeah, so
we don't retire already. That's for we money. Only 2,000 I want to give it. And total the charge of 10%. I never pay out 10%. That's my money.
10%, but you got a bank. They give 6 or 7.
Depends, right? Depends on how you work. But I tell you what, we forgetting things.
Yeah.
So I ask right now, make one publicize this thing, man. Ask Mr. Palazzo where the money for the trust there. How much accountability you know, give back to the teachers and you look at it, become more than a teacher right now, then are young teachers. So I don't know about this money. So they're not entitled for that for started. The only we entitled for it because I started in public service in 1990. I retired in 2012. Understand me?
I hear you.
We need to get one control over here.
Yeah, follow you.
If you not have a good government, tell me where I'm there and done.
Okay.
Then you start to clean your house, then you tell me for outside.
Oh, your man will keep saying that from last time. Clean your house.
Thank you very much, Mr.
Thank you very much. Why?
See there, no?
City.
It says, but then why is it that the very teachers themselves, some of the very teachers themselves, are not requesting an internal investigation?
Because you hear what the man say, someone ain't getting their loans. Sugar City man, hello?
Yeah, hello?
Yes.
Yeah, I think in a way, like encouraging parents to call and vent against teachers. Again, there's still a lot of generalizing going on. Yesterday, I met some parents who were pointing at me and telling me, I agree with the loan. Allow the teachers to greedy and that kind of thing. And the loan, there's a lot of teachers still in the classroom, and there's a lot of teachers who get abused because they are encouraged to abuse those teachers. The lady who just got up reminded me of a parent who is one of the same ones who was making a whole pile of knives and saying how the teacher, they shouldn't get their pay and everything. But again, the generalizing. That lady, most of the time, her children aren't even in school.
Yes, but then you see, that's why whenever we on the show, we always say, listen, it's a very hard topic for us to discuss every day, because once you say teachers, you generalize.
Yes.
And then we keep reminding people that we don't condemn nobody who wants to strike, but all we're saying is enough is enough.
But at the same time, I'm telling you, a lot of the teachers who went on strike, and I've been listening to this conversation, I know they want to.
Well, they shouldn't blame us. They should blame the other schools on strike and don't want to go to work.
No, we can't blame them.
That is causing all of this negative attention towards them. You imagine you're a teacher, you go to school, and before you left school, you put on your casual clothes because you're afraid to walk the street in your uniform.
You're looking at it on one side. We get attacked from both sides.
Mm-hmm. I hear you, boss. I hear you. But like I said, the agenda, the teachers are look.
Well, I don't have anything to do with them. I'm concerned about the parents who aren't sending their children to school.
Well, that's what we're saying. We're asking parents to
jump on the radio show and be criticizing teachers.
Well said, sir. Well said. Thank you. I just get a message here. Say people are being told that we don't have a license for today's demonstration, and they sent me the picture of the license. They do have a license because Kami is saying on the other station that they don't have a permit, but these parents do have a permit. I know for a fact that they went to the police station on Friday. I will call a bond. They take out a bond. They took out their bond and they have their permit to go out there and demonstrate today on whatsoever rights or cause they feel like. So if you're wondering if they don't have a permit and you're a bit scared to join them because of that, have no fear. They do have their permit to demonstrate today. Okay? So bear that in mind. Let's see, we have some text here. It's okay. Didn't the teachers left classroom more than 2 weeks ago? They refuse to realize the damage they are doing to the children of our country. They don't deserve any pay. Well, I'm not the one to decide if they deserve any pay or not. I'm just saying too that I will join in the words of saying enough is enough. When do we say enough is enough and put down the demonstration? But clearly Luke Palazzo have his own agenda. And I want to believe that his agenda is a personal agenda. Because like the gentleman said, they not come for no consultation, they can tell you what they do. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello, muy buenos días. ¿Puedo hablar en español?
Ándale. Adelante.
Solo quiero saber si en todo Belice hay clases ahora, porque están pasando los buses, pero van vacíos. No están yendo, no quieren ir los niños ya.
¿No quieren los niños o los papás no los van a mandar?
Yo tengo una sobrina en la escuela, yo sí voy a ir allá a San Román, pero ahorita estoy esperando el bus, pero ni un niño va en los buses, unos dos van.
Pues mándalos para que los maestros se den cuenta que necesitan estar ahí. Es que, ¿qué tú crees? ¿Que deben de estar ahí o no deben de estar ahí los maestros? ¿Crees tú que deben de haber clases a este punto?
No deben de estar ahí los profesores.
Deben de estar ahí. ¿Eso digo?
Sí.
Ok, muy bien. Pues entonces, ¿qué podemos hacer, señora? Pedirles y rogarles ya aparentemente no está funcionando. Los parientes tienen que pararse y demandar que los maestros vayan a su clase, porque tiene que venir de la conciencia de los maestros. Para salir de algunos maestros tienen una plataforma política y obviamente están tratando de causarle problema al gobierno. Eso es la neta. Eso es la neta. Pero, ¿hasta cuándo van a causarle daño a los niños? Porque en realidad, 2 semanas, yendo a 3 semanas de huelga, ya es bastante. Ya no se está cumpliendo con el currículo, ya no se está, ya los niños ya después de un rato ya ni van a querer regresar a la escuela.
Oh, sí, pero fíjate que en vez de los papás tienen la culpa, porque aquí hay un montón, aquí en Santa Cruz, yo estoy hablando de aquí del Cruz de Platencia, Santa Cruz.
Sí.
¿Qué más?
Aquí los papás, fíjense que tal vez ellos tienen la culpa también, no los están mandando ni un niño ahí en la calle ahorita. Y los buses están pasando para San Román.
Pues es una pena en realidad. Yo te diría a ti, si puedes, manda a tu hijo a la escuela. Deben de haber maestros ahí que, aunque ese niño no esté en su escuela con toda la clase llena, pero mejor que vaya a la escuela a aprender de algún otro maestro, a sentarse en su casa a hacer nada. ¿No crees tú?
Oh, sí, yo creo eso que usted dice, estoy de acuerdo.
Ok, pues mándelo. Vamos a ver que mientras que usted está convencida que el niño está seguro.
Bueno, muchas gracias.
A usted.
You want to read this text for me? It's all the way from Benke. It's a very interesting text in Spanish, so.
Aquí, buenos días, aquí en Benque, en la radio dicen que manden a sus hijos a la escuela. Al rato sale un carro anunciando que no manden a sus hijos a la escuela. A quien creer, creo que los maestros deben dar gracias a Dios que tienen un trabajo. Hay otros que lo desean tener. Bien dicho.
Hallelujah, Benke and take over a car with speaker where they say not send the picnic in the school.
Es una vergüenza.
How far they going?
Es una vergüenza. Ya llegó un punto de ser vergüenza. Y tiene toda la razón el individuo que llamó hace ratos, porque muchas veces en los comentarios se está generalizando mucho. Los maestros. No. Algunos maestros.
Some teachers.
Algunos.
Yeah.
Y tienes toda la razón. Mi respeto.
Well, I think that eventually parents to get the understanding, because I think by end of today or middle of the week, from what the prognosis is, no, you're supposed to have something like maybe 200 to 250 kids at school already, at Lima Colada school.
Really?
Yeah, they're coming back, you know, in the classroom, because the teachers are there. Most teachers are, well, I would say most, but teachers are there. Some teachers are in standard 5 and they're teaching standard 6 students already. So, you know. Oh, and this week they're starting back on a regular curriculum. So, then you go. They have enough students to teach in the classes, some classes. So then you go.
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Pues compañeros, ahí está diciendo el compañero de Londres que en la Inmaculada ya en la cantidad de estudiantes que están regresando a la escuela ya está incrementando día a día, tanto así de que ya ciertas clases se han abierto, no obstante el hecho de que ciertos maestros no están yendo, pero hay ciertos maestros que de conciencia están ahí porque están ejerciendo, dándole su derecho a los niños de ser educados. ¿Ok?
Mm-hmm.
Y eso es importante. Eso es súper importante. Al final del día lo que... Nadie está en contra de eso.
Then again,
nobody's against that law.
Right.
They have demonstrated it. They have demonstrated. They have gone on strike. But until when? That's the question. Until when?
they have teachers in Louisiana school too, but again, that's another situation there. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yeah, buenos días, Mr. Dillon. Buenos días, Mr. Martinez.
Buenos días, Felices.
Buenos días.
Quiero hacer un comentario.
Sí, man.
Fíjense, bueno, acá en San Narciso está que los maestros, por lo menos la principal me dijo a mí que cuando acabe todo ese strike, que van a dar las clases por hora. Y nuestra idea y plan será que no, cuando ellos terminen su strike y terminen que ya van a entrar en vacaciones, vamos a querer, si 2 semanas y media perdieron, 2 semanas y media será de compensado. Nada de que 1 hora en cada tarde y luego los niñas van a venir llegando hasta las 5:30. No es eso lo que queremos. Muchísimas gracias, Mr. Martínez.
A usted, señor.
Thank you very much. He said, Morning, Delon and Manon, my son and daughter are in high school. From day one, I will not agree with the teachers that will keep them from 1 hour extra in school. Policy of the school, once the school hours are off, is not responsible for your child. I send them no matter if it is not regular classes, but their report will not come with absentees this term. Our kind of concern is going up.
I'm getting reports that the other radio station, the other TV station is grossly misinforming the people by telling them that the demonstrators do not have a license. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a copy of the license right in front of me. And the police department, and it's signed by Mr. Selvin Tillett, superintendent, and the principal signed by Ms. Claudia Talango, Ms. Mignoli Alonso, and also Ms. Adi Balan, and it's signed for today. Now let me do one thing here. Download it, and perhaps I can even. In fact, I just sent it over to Rahim. Lo acabo te estoy diciendo que lo acabo de mandar a Rahim. Maybe we can get it on the screen there. Okay. En español, tengo frente de mí el permiso, copia de la licencia donde, y estoy tratando de ver exactamente qué es lo que dice y las fechas que dice. Permítame tantito aquí, por favor, les pido disculpas tantito, pero estoy viendo aquí. Section 7 of chapter, permit to hold public meeting. On public meetings, chapter 7 of chapter 1, control of public meetings and public processions. Permission is hereby granted to Ms. Claudia Talango and Orange Octon and Ms. Mignoli Alonso and Ms. of Orange Octon to hold a public, on the main streets of Orange Octon on Monday, 17th October. Es hoy, el permiso es para hoy. Así que no le hagan caso a la otra estación de televisión cuando dice que no tienen permiso. Aquí estoy leyendo yo el permiso, que esto fue hecho desde la semana pasada. ¿Ok? A las 9 de la mañana. Que pasen entonces por Baker Street, Main Street, Hospital Crescent, Queen Victoria Avenue, Cinderella Street, San Antonio. ¿Ok? Entonces tuvieron que poner un bond de $2,000, todo eso. Vamos a...
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Fíjese que estoy escuchando ahí en el tele que están diciendo que podemos mandar a los niños a la escuela. Pero fíjese que... Entonces, ellos dicen que solo van a inventar, pues a meterse en teléfonos y todo eso, entonces yo por eso no lo estoy mandando.
Pues Ese es otro problema, que hay unos maestros que están en la clase, pero están mandando a los niños a la casa.
Sí, pero así dicen, no, dice, ¿para qué tenemos que cerrar los baños? Dice, porque estos niños solo vienen a nada así y nosotros no hayamos que hacer, pues.
Señora, insisto en una cosa, que los parientes tienen que deben de mandar a sus niños a la escuela en una, ¿cómo te diría? Que sea una señal de protesta de los maestros, de los parientes contra los maestros. Porque al final del día los maestros no están escuchando a nadie. Ellos están en huelga y habrá Dios hasta cuándo. ¿Estás tú dispuesto a esperar hasta que ellos les den la regalada gana para que tú mandes tus hijos a la escuela? ¿O les vas a mandar un mensaje a los maestros diciéndole, yo lo estoy mandando porque yo creo que tu maestro debes estar en la escuela?
Sí, es que no llegan todos los maestros, son pocos los que llegan.
Ok, pues muy bien. Repito, si mandas tu niño a la escuela, se va a dar cuenta que los parientes están mandando a los niños a la escuela y que entonces, eventualmente, los maestros de conciencia van a tener que regresar. No sé si de conciencia, no sé, pero ojalá.
Ahorita en la mañana yo fui a hablar con una maestra de aquí de Santa Cruz.
Ajá.
Ella dice que no hay necesidad de mandarlos.
Pues es obvio que ella va a estar peleando por su propia huelga, ¿no?
Ajá, sí, dice ella que no, que solo los niños van también a verse con güirros ahí, que no sé qué.
¿Y qué tú crees? ¿Qué tú crees? ¿Tú crees que debe de estar yendo a la escuela tu hijo?
Yo pienso que sí, pero yo tal vez somos bajos de recursos, entonces, y que van los niños, solo gastar dinero por gastar también está difícil.
Pero también, ¿qué crees tú? ¿Que debe de desperdiciar su día estando en su casa, haciendo nada? ¿O debe de ser educado? ¿Qué es lo importante?
Sí, o si fueran que lo pusieran a hacer algo, fuera bueno, pero si
exacto, por eso te pido que mandes tu hijo a la escuela, donde sí va a haber maestros que quizás la maestra con quien hablaste no esté yendo, pero hay maestros que están dispuestos a enseñar, señora. Hay maestros que tienen conciencia y están dispuestos a enseñar. Si tú mandaras a tu hijo, siquiera va a aprender algo que quizás nunca aprendería estando en casa.
Sí, así como el jueves van a hacer otro meeting, dicen los. Bueno, entonces
gracias,
vamos a mandarle.
Gracias,
oiga. Pase buen día.
Igualmente usted.
Just before we take the break, it says, morning, teachers have no right to tell students don't come to school because we are violating their rights. Munoz and Palacio, we need to put politics aside. I am a teacher and I am attending school, and I have some students in my class. With that, it's 8 minutes after 8 o'clock. We have Honorable Alodi Aragon Jr. coming up next on the set. We will take a commercial break and we will be right back with more for you on the Sugar City Morning Show.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field Basketball Court, and the Santa Elena Football Field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Penquevejo Marshall Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
The Barrow administration has put mechanisms in place to weed out wrongdoing in the immigration department. But let us examine what occurred during the PUP tenure. When in September 22, 1992, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was instructed by Syed Musa to write to the Director of Immigration and approve 254 nationality certificates with no oversight, waiving all fees. The certificates bore no photograph of the applicant, and there was no record of swearing in, an oath having been taken. In several other instances, Syed Musa was written to requesting the waiver of the procedures and fees of many persons applying for nationality. They gave away millions of dollars in revenue belonging to the government of Belize.
Buster. They see you and know you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things, things never run you. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
Julius Espat says police beat him up during the incident that he caused at the House meeting.
I've gotten beaten up by the police forces. Someone here beat me up that cool, and they beat me up.
He even filled out a medical report for the police. But, lucky for us, he didn't know what all was caught on tape. Damn! Is Julius telling the truth? You be the judge.
You know your baby is happy when wearing Bebin Pampers. Bebin Pampers in all sizes. Bebin Pampers make your baby happy. Available at German Vega and Sons.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field basketball court, and the Santa Elena football field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Penquevejo Marshall Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
On Friday, August 26, 2016, one member's behavior brought shame to the entire country.
What is your problem, Mr. Speaker? They pay you to block me, and that's what they pay you for.
You're gonna tell me?
Damn house and representative is a joke. It's a joke.
Are Julius and the PUP ready to lead?
Sure, but you're asking for rules to be followed elsewhere. You're not following the rules. You're not following the rules.
Across the country, development and transformation continue under this government. The new Guanacaste roundabout at the junction of the Hummingbird and the George Price highways is complete and one to be proud of. The George Price Highway is being rehabilitated from the Belmopan Junction to Benque Viejo. There will be a new baking pot bridge and upgrade of the Caracol Road. Also, the new Macal River bypass and bridge will be completed by March 2017. In the Belize district, the work has already started from the Hallover Bridge to the Philip Golson Airport, and funding has now been secured for the new link road to span the Belize River starting from behind Gentrack and coming out at Mile 8 on the George Price Highway. A $40 million UK grant has been secured for the paving and aligning of the coastal road and construction of new bridges. Under this same grant, the Philip Golson Highway will be improved between Orange Walk and Corozal. This government continues to work for the development of Belize. Your vision, our mission.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, and it's exactly 17 after 8 o'clock. We're joined here by Mr. Aragon. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, sir.
Yes,
Welcome to the show.
Sure, man. Good morning, Dylan. Good morning, Emmanuel, and of course, good morning to the good people of Belize, and especially the people in Orange Walk East. No? It's a pleasure for me to be here again.
What's the situation today? Today the strike continues, but there seems to be a growing resistance to the strike. And this is coming from the parents themselves.
Yeah, well, of course, I think after pushing it for 2 weeks now, this will be the start of the third week. I think that a lot of parents are now, I think at the onset, I think a lot of parents support the teachers, and I think they still support the teachers. But at the end of the day, what is happening is that kids are basically being held hostage in not getting an education. Mm-hmm. And I do think that the most important thing right now, and I think is for and one of the most important thing and concern for everybody is what is happening with the education of our kids. And I think that is at the forefront right now, and I think that is why we are seeing in the different districts, you see small pockets of parents coming together, and voicing their concern, because at the end of the day, if this thing prolongs longer, the only person, a group of persons that will be affected will be our kids not going to school. And I think that is a very important issue for parents countrywide, and that is why I think those are the main issues right now, where parents are saying, listen, let this continue to be discussed, but our kids need to be back in school. It's not proper for we, the teachers, having a problem with government, and at the end of the day, it is the kids that will be suffering. And I think that is the balance that has to be looked at,
Definitely. Again, as you know, this morning there's a demonstration. We just received a text that there's a demonstration also. There will be a demonstration in San Pedro Village, I think that's up north, where people is saying that the question now arrived, when is enough is enough.
Right.
And then we have parents here in Orange Walk coming out in full swing this morning to demonstrate. They took out their permit and everything, so everything will be in order. And they are saying it's time for the teachers to get back in class. Yeah. But we all know, as much as how he denies it, we can see clearly where, to me, Luke Palacio agenda is personal now. To me, it's no longer about new points. It's no longer about UNCAC. It's no longer about cheaper. It was never about the 3%. I think this man is using his people to drive a personal agenda. That's my feeling. Because you go in a negotiation with the Prime Minister and you don't know. We could predict the outcome before he go in there. We could predict the outcome, telling you that he come out and say, no. Sugar City Morning Show, hello?
Good morning. I'm from 7. While the strike continues, I would like to invite our parents to send your kids to a reading program that I'll be giving. It's only $1, and $1 is for the snacks that the kids will be getting. It starts today at 9 at the community center.
Yeah.
It's a commendable effort.
Okay.
All right.
Rather than not being taught any at all, you go to a reading program. Very good.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Thanks. And I think that you see a lot of what is happening is affecting and impacting on not only the kids not getting an education, but likewise the parents. Because a lot of parents are working parents, and they count on the school to be there so their kids could get the education, and then they could also go to work and having their kids safe and sound in a secure area.
An economic ripple effect going on.
Well, of course,
huge
of course,
economic
of course.
ripple effects.
Of course, and I think these are things that at this point in time, as a parent, likewise, I'll tell you it affects you because you have your kids being at home now. You can't be home with any minor every time. You have to work. You got things to do, and then it's an added time that you have to juggle with, and those are the critical things for parents. And my biggest concern for me is that every day that goes by that our kids are not in school, how will they catch this up in terms of their education? Some of them are getting ready for PSCs, some of them are getting ready for CXCs early next year. So there's a lot to be done, and time is short. Dylan, right now we're already in October. You're looking at November, December is right upon us, and then you were going to the next year. So I think that is critical aspects for parents countrywide. And I think that is why we see the packets of parents coming together and organizing and voicing their opinions, because at the end of the day, they will be the ones who have to contend with the issues out of this,
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
¿Me está escuchando?
Yes, go ahead.
Sí, te estamos escuchando.
Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Quisiera preguntar a Mr. Aragón.
Baja el volumen del televisor, por favor.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oye, lo que está diciendo Cami, lo que está diciendo que dice que la votación que están haciendo los maestros, que van a salir ganándolos a toda la gente que van a demostrando. Yo quisiera saber cómo ellos van a ganar ellos, de qué.
Señor.
¿Me entendió?
No, porque en realidad tienes muy alto el volumen de tu radio, de tu televisor. Tienes que...
Está bajado, y usted no oye, el que no oye es ustedes. No, está bajo. Usted no oye, el que no oye es ustedes. Ajá.
Sí, señor.
Eso es lo que yo quiero saber. Porque dicen ellos que van a ganar a toda la gente que están demostrando. ¿Qué van a ganar? El que van a ganar son los maestros porque ellos están consiguiendo 3%.
Okay.
Muy bien, gracias.
Muy bien, gracias, señor.
Hasta luego.
Yeah. You see, at the end of the day, to me, the reasons, the points that the teachers have put up, the 8 or 9 points plus the 3% that they are fighting for, I think to a large extent, if you listen to the press conference or the press, the media meet that they had on in the last...
They went in that meeting saying no?
Right, but not only that, but the Prime Minister, to a large extent, is working on all of their points, and if you look at it, most of them have been agreed to. The matter of the 3% still needs to be discussed, but I understand this is not only an issue for BNTU, it's an issue for the PSU and all the other and unions out there that they need to sit, because it impacts upon all of our public servants countrywide, and I do think that needs to be discussed further. But this is where we are right now, and I think no matter what the issues are, that who at the end suffers or will have to
children
to deal with the blunt what is happening, and it comes down to our kids, and their education.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, so at the end of the day, it's our kids and the parents that have to put up with all these things right now. And I think going into the third week, you know, it becomes now a real concern for our parents countrywide. And I think that is where we are seeing that parents are now organizing and voicing their opinion.
Yeah. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Buenos días, yo quería hablar con el ministro.
Go ahead.
Yo quiero preguntarle al ministro si aquí en Venqueviejo llamo desde Venqueviejo del Carmen, y hay una maestra que se encarga de andar en las calles anunciando hacia el público que no manden a los niños a la escuela.
Esa es una que anda con el carro.
Una que anda con el carro, sí, una que anda con el carro anunciando. Es una maestra.
Ok.
Ayer tuvimos una conferencia en la noticia y en la noche la maestra salió anunciando que no manden los niños y anda de casa en casa diciéndole a los padres que no manden a los niños.
Okay.
Entonces, así como esa maestra anda anunciando, entonces quiere decir que ella está recibiendo pago del ministro.
Ok, es todo.
Sí, eso es todo. Por favor, yo quería saber si esa maestra está consiguiendo pago, porque los niños tienen derecho de regresar a la escuela.
Sí.
Ok, gracias.
Okay.
Bueno, gracias.
Okay, muy bien.
I was telling Emmanuel that I think that that is one of the agenda that they're trying. Me believe they're trying to push and see if they will get paid, and if they don't get paid, then that will be another cry for them another reason for them to go on.
Well, my thing is that, you know, in all these situations when you have these strikes, etc., you have to understand that the opposition party, the PUP, will always get involved one way or the other. And I'm sure that Johnny has been spending money.
Oh yes,
without a doubt, he has been spending money, and in all of these events, you will find that you have politically aligned persons in terms of, for instance, PUP fanatics who are teachers too, and we can't. If it was the UDP organizing, they will say it's union busting. In this sense, it must be union strengthening.
Union strengthening or supporting.
But my thing is that at the end of the day, we have to be mindful that and be wary as teachers on a whole level. I think teachers have to be wary because they have to be concerned about these kinds of people who come to influence on their personal political agendas. And I think, like I said, I think nobody is totally against the teachers coming up and organizing for their 3%, etc. I think to a large extent right now, where you see parents coming together, it's because of the fact that, listen, it's 2 weeks now, majority of their points are being dealt with. The question is, why must my child suffer and not get the education going in for a third week now? Is it necessary that my kid stays out of school? And despite the fact that a lot of some of the schools are open and have an amount of teachers there who are ready to teach, you also have some teachers who find themselves there who are on strike, but they not go out there because they want to still collect them pay.
Right.
But they are there to basically hamper
the progress,
the teaching progress of others, and I don't think that
that's
is fair.
correct.
That is correct.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yeah.
Hello, good morning. Hello.
Yeah, and to me, if you're on strike, then
stay home.
Stay home and do what you have to do.
Or go there, you in a meeting or something.
Don't go to school. Where you going at school and you're there on strike?
Yeah, because in that case, that's what they're finding out.
They really go and tell kids and parents, listen, we're not the teacher there. They are only to hamper any semblance of trying to get some of the kids educated or
because that's the case, so we can't prove it, but then we get a lot of calls and texts last week, especially from Louisiana.
A lot of parents call and
parents in the classroom, no man, but the teachers is sent home and picnic, they don't want to teach. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello.
Yes, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Agon. I believe we have too much centers. We have lots of teachers around in all the country that we can employ and open the centers and put some other teachers to work if they want to work. You have to do something. Leave the other teachers, certified teachers, leave them on one side. They know they owe, the bank they owe, pay children they owe all about. So they are punishing too together with the children. So what become of the whole thing? Tell me.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
Sir, one observation that, you talk to parents and some of them tell you straight up. Yo estoy apoyando, I'm supporting the teachers on their quest because you have to stand up. But for your rights. But this is some information that you get out there. You also have some who are vehemently against the strike. But I think that, and you mentioned the mouthful a while ago when you said that people need to become aware of the fact that of the points that the BNTU is demanding have essentially all been met.
Yeah.
But we need to transmit this information to the parents, and then let the parents ask the teachers, haven't you seen that those conditions have been met? And the parents try to reason out with the teachers or something, and see if perhaps they can convince some of the teachers to get back. Because right now, most of the parents are still being supportive of the teachers.
Yeah.
They're not sending their kids to school. That is the
Yeah.
blatant truth.
But you have to understand the parents too. You have parents who, like, I can't send my kids to school because my kids go to Bishop, and the fact is that the kids are closed. So even if I want to send my kids, the fact is that the school is closed. And then you have other situations where I'm going to take my kid to school, and there's one the teachers are there saying, well, you know what, we know they do nothing. So even if you send your kid, we're not teach. So it creates a problem where the parents say, you know what, better keep my kid home until I could, to a certain, be informed properly that yes, I could take my kid to school.
No, it don't last long.
You know, and I think that those are the challenges that the ministry is seeing, because at the end of the day, we can't guarantee parents. You go, your
teachers are there,
and then you have teachers who are there just to counter the efforts
part of
for
our
open
responsibility
schools,
here is also to tell the parents, tell them, and the teachers that the points that the BNTU has been demanding have essentially been met.
I
think 90%.
I think to a large, and this is where it's coming down now. They know. I think a lot of people out there who have been following up this.
The Prime Minister said himself.
He was on television. The interviews that were done clearly show where the government has basically worked out on many of these things. But the problem right now, I think, and it's where the teachers, the BNTU will begin to, and are already losing that support from the parents. Because I'll tell you this, I met a lot of parents, and one of their concerns is, listen to me, majority of what was brought up has to a large extent been dealt with. Those that are pertinent and those that are, how would I put, can be worked on are being done. Without a doubt it's happening, and anybody who watch the news and read up will tell you that that is the case. In terms of where Luke Palacio brings about in the request for the removal of Godwin Hulse, that to me is an unreasonable, uncalled for request by BNTU.
Yeah,
nobody tell BNTU how they select a president, who is to be secretary and treasurer. How will you tell a duly elected government who to appoint? If I could understand if Godwin Hulse was a person involved in a lot of things, then I could understand why you asked him to be moved. But Godwin Hulse, that is not the situation. And so how will you dictate and want to hold a government to that demand? That is an unreasonable demand, and in no way the Prime Minister or this government or any government could accede to that request. And I
nobody asked the BNTU for getting transparency.
And if that is the case, if we as a government or any government is to accede to a request like that, well, my brother, we better hand up this governance.
Exactly.
You understand me? But they never run an election. It is the UDP who ran an election, won an election, and it is at the prerogative of the Prime Minister to appoint his ministers. And that request is unreasonable.
The crux of the issue is very simple. The Prime Minister has said, you tell me, give me the proof that Godwin has done something wrong, has involved in corruption, and then I will act. But in the absence of that, I will not do.
And then
that is the issue.
But you see, this was, because if you look at all those demands, they came from PUP. These are PUP instigated, PUP directed requests. And and one of the things that I look at, Dylan, is the fact that now they are trying to say, well, because Godwin Holtz, the Honorable Godwin Holtz is
Minister of Police.
Is Minister of Police, and he is also dealing with the immigration thing. And the Prime Minister said, if anything goes to a criminal case, then he will look at it again. You understand me? So,
let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Just wanted to say that while our children are out of school, Johnny Briseño is sending his child to a Belize private school every day. That's it. So while his child is in school, the rest of our children are not in school. That is not right.
Yeah. You see, and at the end of the day, it is our majority of our parents who are feeling the brunt of this thing. Our kids not getting an education, and I, as a parent, will tell you, I think 2 weeks is enough support that the teachers have gotten.
Get back in the classroom.
Pen timing, because although you want to support our teachers, we understand some of the issues that they have brought up. The fact is that majority of these issues have been dealt with. So why does not the BNTU go back to school and negotiations continue? You know, it is only in this country where we go into the extreme and strike first and then try to negotiate. And I do think that at the end of the day, our kids will be suffering, and that is why parents are voicing their opinions every day. Teachers are losing their support.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Good morning. What we're asking is for good governance. That is simple. That the government deal with the corruption going on with this present government. It asked for the removal of Godwin Holtz. It didn't ask for a referendum for the removal of the Prime Minister. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but
and these are the fanatics
you have. These are
the fanatics who don't even
get the facts right.
Can't get their facts right.
Yeah, remove a Prime Minister.
These are the same fanatics that you have embedded, who are PUP embedded within our teachers, embedded within the organization behind.
Then they bring Saturday night comedy show into daytime show.
You know, and you know how ridiculous that is.
Listen to this.
Good governance. They don't even understand what is good governance.
Listen to this one here. He said the BNTU is talking about good governance and corruption, and those are the same ones who don't give accountability until they are pressured. This occurred here in Corozal Rural Branch under the President, Mr. David Acosta and Telesforo Flores. It says, and Baltasar Chan, they use the money.
Yeah.
So if you know, they have like Emmanuel say you have a start from home. You have a text Emmanuel, you wanna.
No, it's just we need to invite the parents, if you're interested, to please join the group of demonstrators who are by Casa Económica. Is it all the way down to the rectory, La Immaculada Rectory? Okay? And they're going to do a peaceful walk, a peaceful demonstration. No le hagan caso a esta contrastación que está diciendo que no hay permiso. Eso es una vil mentira. Y no solo una mentira, pero una vil mentira. ¿Ok? Hay el permiso para hacer esta demostración. Ya lo pasamos por la televisión, y no te sientas intimidado de que qué tal si la policía viene. No, hay un permiso para esto. Quiero hacerlo muy en claro, compañeros, y les estoy invitando a que por favor vayan a demostrar. Una cosa es que estén llamando a la televisión, otra cosa es de que estén en su casa mentando madre, y otra cosa es completamente diferente, que tú vayas a demostrar, porque en números está la fuerza.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hi, good morning, gentlemen.
Morning.
I have at the beginning with the teachers, I was very supportive of it in the beginning, but I really believe now it's getting out of hand, taking it to another level. And I say this because my son goes to sixth form in the Corozal district, and he received an email from his teacher telling him that they need to present their work as early as possible, and they want no excuses. Ridiculous, because they've been out of class for 2 weeks now. Now they're pressuring these students. On the other hand, you have other students that are on the streets late at night doing God knows what. Parents are at work, and I agree that teachers are not babysitters, but they need to realize that they're affecting our children a lot, especially now it's crunch time for review week next month, exams, and then Christmas vacation. What's going to happen then?
Point well taken.
They don't realize that they're affecting their children as well.
Yeah.
All right? I totally support the teachers, but I think enough is enough. They need to get back in their classes and do their work. That's what they're being paid for. That's the oath they took.
Right.
So, I really I applaud the Ministry of Education for all the hard work they have been doing. Ministers have been doing their job in every way possible. You can't keep everybody happy. So it's something that you, as leaders, we need to respect your decisions. And at the same time, we need to respect the parents as well, because we have a big say in this. And I would encourage all the parents to, stand up and get out there and ask these teachers to go back to work.
Stand up, Belize, and thank you very much, Carla.
You see, and I think those are the sentiments that a lot of our parents are having right now, Dylan. They are saying enough is enough, or we need our kids back. I mean, if the Papal Nuncio has said we need to have the kids in school, and yet the employees, who most of them work for Catholic parishes, don't even listen to their own Papal Nuncio and
the Kaya one and then take away the keys from the warden.
And I'll tell you, there's so many things that they do in trying to continue to get this momentum for BNTU, but I think to a large extent they have climaxed now, and there's no uphill for them again in terms of climbing on the top. Their top has already occurred, and they are now coming down in terms of support, Dylan. Okay. Because a lot of parents, we soon will start seeing a lot more demonstrations in terms of where parents will come out and stand, because at the end of the day, they are looking at what is best for them. Children, the teachers have been looking with their 3%. That is the only thing. The rest, those are issues, of course, of for better systems for good governance, and the UDP government
will entertain it.
Yes, of course, and they will deal with it.
But then you see, you have to bear in mind that this Balea, Luke Palazzo, fit all the traits of the PUP. Now, check this out. We had Senator Courtney, who was representing the Ashcroft Group, the fight to make the government pay the $60 million in a US to the Ashcroft Group. Now we had the central bank governor coming up and saying, listen, I know that we can't pay this money, but if we pay this money, it run we in a danger. It put in a tight spot in the foreign exchange. And the pressure, they carry the government back to court. The court ruled that they have to pay in the US. Now the same PUP, they got in a PUP, we carry the government the court. Now that they won, the Ashcroft won the ruling, now this bloody four Balewa company TV now and talk about the Prime Minister gonna pay the government, pay Ashcroft Group in the US, and what he do, it affect him. They tell you what we don't know what happened. It affect the central bank US cash flow and the tighten the economy. And now the crazy boy they call for make Dean Barrow resign. Now we kind of stupidness them by
you have to understand the objective of the PUP.
Confuse the people?
Yes, exactly. The PUP has no other agenda than their personal political agendas. And I'll tell you, when you look of course, man, them Balino, they are for this country, They are there for themselves. And this is where people have to understand these things. When you see the PUP, people like Janet Briseño, you look at Cordell Hyde and the whole kit of them, Musa himself out there with the teachers when the teachers are demonstrating.
Hypocrites, boy.
I think
they take the name out of hypocrites.
I have to take one drink when I say that, because listen to me.
Judas.
You can't believe that they have people
like
who have
that.
the audacity to walk
take us for
with
fools,
you,
sirs.
to walk with you in the pretense that they are there for better governance, that they are there for an option as a better government. And I will tell you, everybody know them, buddy. Everybody know who Johnny B is. Yes or no?
That's true.
I think anybody in this country knows who the Honorable Johnny Briseño is.
Yeah.
Everybody in this country knows who Honorable Musa is. Yes or no?
Yep.
I don't think nobody could even bring that to and discuss them. But they have fanatics like one of the persons that called earlier, who will defend and die for these people, knowing what they stand for. And that is the sad thing, because I always say, and all our politicians, I as a politician likewise, at the end of the day will be held accountable. And who am I accountable? To the people of this country. And I will have to answer to the people of the country for what I have done or what I have failed not to do. You understand?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, in terms of this strike, I ask teachers, and a lot of teachers think are of the opinion, right? When I tell you, any sensible person who looks at it objectively will understand that a lot of what have been requested from
which is the hardest
being met. And listen, yes, I know said that the teachers still looking for their 3%, and that is where they need.
Which is the hardest thing for them to understand, because when you deal with a man like Luke Palazzo with a strong character, every time he go in on a meeting with the Prime Minister for the agenda, no.
Yeah.
One public servant, former public servant, called and he said, when they come to Orange Walk and talk about a discussion with the teachers, they know they can't discuss, and they tell you what they do. And then you find out, whenever you go, we understand there will be a meeting this morning with the Prime Minister again, and the BNTU, somebody posted up on Facebook. I don't know how true it is, but that's what we get in. Every time they go into this meeting, they already have an agenda. The man don't say, if you don't move Gandon Halls, we can't play no ball. He will tell the Prime Minister, the ball is in your court.
Yeah, and that is ridiculous.
You know, I always say that we as believers, we are privileged that we could meet to a minister and talk to him like how we want, or meet the Prime Minister and shake his hand and tell him, Mr. Barrow, you're doing a good job, or you're not doing a good job. Some parts of the world, Jamaica, they only hear about the Prime Minister or the candidate. They don't see her. And we have that privilege, and I think that we don't want to change that, but then Balia, they take advantage of this thing now. When you meet with the highest authority in the land, the Prime Minister of your country. Sugar City morning show, hello.
Good morning, Delon and everyone. I just want to say that I support the teachers, but at the same time, certain teachers. Because at the school where my daughter is still attending, there was not everything right. Because last year I had to take back my child because I had no other choice, but education department told me that that's the school that she needs to go back. Because I took my child out of the school because there was a time when I went coincidentally and I found my daughter locked up in a classroom without a supervision of a teacher, and only she and 3 children. That's why I wish that after this they listen to the parents. I can't say that all the teachers are bad, certain teachers. And that's the same thing goes to my party, which I have thought of them. My Prime Minister has done a wonderful job, and I applaud him for his wonderful job, and I hope that he continues negotiating, because that's the road and the way to go. And to my area rep and those, just follow what the Prime Minister. We need to have a boss and obey the boss. Teachers are not obeying the boss, not even their end. As for instance, the person that employed them. So who else will they listen to? Is this where do we want to take our children up today? Anyway, thank you and have a good day.
Thank you very much.
You see,
well said.
Like I've always said, everybody can be wrong. You have the Papal Nunce, you have the Catholic missions who are telling them, teachers, listen, it's time you get back into school. Let the other negotiations carry on by the political party, the opposition, etc. Things have to,
calm down.
You have done your part. It is time to get back, because at the end of the day, it is our kids who are suffering. You have a lot of people, and I'll tell you, a lot of parents understand these things right now, Delon, and it's only a matter of time if this thing progresses, where the teachers will put a demand out there. Not the teachers, sorry, the parents will come out strong and demand that teachers return to school. And then what?
There is a demonstration.
They will then
today.
put that pressure on government, and government will have to act. My thing is that I always believe that negotiations and communication is the way to progress with things. And I'll tell you, when I look at the news and you say, the BNTU leader, Mr. Luke Palacio comes out and says, you know what, strike is on. Then people even go back to the membership. They have already made a decision, and even go back to the membership and say, you know what, this came out from the Prime Minister, and we are looking at. Then don't make up their mind, They have made up their mind for the masses of teachers, and to me, that is not proper.
And you see what happened?
I mean, that shows their political. Listen to me. When you ask for to direct the prime minister who he is to appoint, that is political. And nobody can tell me that Luke has not been informed to take up that agenda. But when you talk about the fact
but
that
you can't just twist the prime minister.
Investigator, that's a waste of taxpayers' money. I did tell you. That is a waste of taxpayer money, and that is a PUP demand, which Luke Palacio is fighting for. And to me, any teacher will say that they should tell Luke Palacio, I should have been one teacher and go to the meeting. I mean, I'm making that is a waste of taxpayers' money, to be frank with you. I, as a police officer, when I served this country, as a police officer, could tell you, the investigation process for murders, we do it. I can understand maybe we need for forensic evidence and other things to help. Maybe we could talk about that, but he's talking about bringing for look at corruption. My brother, that is so ridiculous and a demand without even understanding what an investigation is all about. But it is those are the political agendas of the PUP that is intertwined with those of people who have political agendas in BNTU and the leadership at the BNTU, here Fuentes and others similar to
blue.
You can't. There's no two ways you can't say politics is not involved in this. It is.
But then you see what happened now that we talk, they don't like it. First everything is smooth. Sugar Cinema and show hello. Yes, sir. On the air, sir.
On the air, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
Go ahead, sir.
Do you have an update of the school that are open? Anybody made a report?
Not as yet, sir.
I said, do you have a report?
Not as yet.
Well, I can tell you that the Solomon 17th and 20 school right there, okay. Well, right there, the Solomon 17th and 20 school is open, and I have an attendance of students right now as we speak, and students are still coming to class.
Okay.
Okay, sir. That's it?
Yes. So I just want to get some more update that some parents are still bringing their student, their child to class because of the news which late that the school is open. But it's fully open and it's fully staffed.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
And well, Solomon.
You know what they reach to, and sometimes we be careful that parents is sending texts and then they call teacher's name, and we don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
For example, like another text I got here from Benke, they're already telling me the teacher's name. It says es una gran política de PUP anda las calles del pueblo diciendo que de los niños no asisten a las clases. They don't give me name already, or no?
Yeah. Well, we have to be real. I mean, the opposition, the PUP, will definitely do what it has to take, and I could tell you that money has been spent. The PUP has spent money and is spending money every day to further their political agenda. My thing is that when you look at the how we are progressing, you have some schools who have a lot of teachers that are there, but of course you also have maybe one or two who would like parents not to take the students to school. But I tell parents, listen to me, if your school nearby where you send your kid is open, send your kid. You take them personally, ensure the teachers take them, because once they report to work, that means they are there to work, and therefore you carry your kid. And what they do if everybody carry their kid, they have to teach them, because that is what they are there for. I am hopeful, Delon, that this will come to an end very soon. It has to come to an end. No way can we have a prolonged a strike that will carry on for months, etc. Because then that will really bring us to another stage. And I don't think any or either party wants to get there.
To reach to that level.
And I do think that it has to be resolved one way or the other. But I'm asking, listen, in the interim right now, we need to get our kids in school. We need to get our kids in school.
Sugar Solomon and show hello.
Hello, good morning, Delon. Morning, Minister. Morning, Mr. Eduardo.
Morning.
This is Miss Claudia calling.
Yes, go ahead. Yes, Rania, go ahead.
Okay. Morning, Dylan. This morning, I'm just calling to inform parents that more and more parents are coming out here, and we're inviting them to come and join us, right? As we said, this is not about politics, not about those teachers. Yes, we're asking the teachers to go back because if you notice, it's already into the third week. We supported at the beginning. However, I don't know if parents fail to realize the impact of this. When the children go back to school, when the teachers decide to come back to school, the work that these kids will have is tremendous. They're missing out a lot. So what we parents are doing, we're doing a peaceful demonstration this morning and inviting all parents that wish to join, because we're not, as I said, no politics. This is us as parents standing up and saying, you know what, we've had enough. Can you please get back to teaching? Because as a group of parents have said out here, that they will put an ultimatum to this. This is already too much. We need them to go back to school. Our children are missing out. And I'm very proud to say that little by little, more and more parents are coming out this morning. Yeah. So I'm inviting the rest of parents, don't be intimidated by those people out there saying, you know what, don't send your children to school. I have all my neighbors saying that over here. You know what? They came, they sent a text to us saying, don't send your children to school. But guess what? We're going to go and support the parents, because at the end of the day, if we parents decide to strike and not send our children, those teachers won't have a job to go back to. So they need to stop and think for a while. If you love teaching, if you love your job, get back to the job. It's like the older people are telling me when I ask them, what do you think? They said, mi hija, si yo no trabajo, no tengo dinero para pagar mis bills. They're doing a job also. So I, as a parent, I humbly request to them, please go back to school, teach. Yes, we know that you guys are fighting for a good cause. I don't say no. But the minister has already bowed down to most of everything that they're asking for. So we as parents need to stand up now and fight so that they go back to class and our children get their education. Best fight against corruption is educating our youth so that they have a future. With that said, Dylan, I will now leave you because...
So exactly where are you guys right now?
In front of Tortilla Maya. You can join us over there.
Okay. And you'll be walking the streets?
Yes, the main streets of Orangewa, passing through some routes of different schools in support of the teachers that are inside teaching, right?
What's your numbers looking like right now?
It's looking great, Dylan. We're going to be here till 9, waiting for parents. And as you see us go by, and if you wish to join, you can also join us.
Okay, thank you very much for calling.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay, sure. Yeah, and you know, these sentiments from this caller, I will tell you, is reflective of many of our parents out there. And at the end of the day, the parents, listen to me, parents have their say too, just like BNTU teachers have their say fighting for this and that. The parents have to fight for their kids. Mm-hmm. And this is where I tell you that right now BNTU will begin to lose strength, because parents have their priority, which is their kids, and their kids need to get back into school. And I think that will be the sentiment throughout. I think BNTU will lose a lot of support in regards to this.
Yes,
and that is why you see BNTU, especially those who are politically motivated, are doing whatever to try to keep that momentum going. And of course, the POP will do its thing. But at the end of the day, Dylan, I am hoping that parents voice their opinion likewise, because it is important. Because as a parent myself, I want my 2 kids I got 3 of them, but 2 of them, especially going to high school, they need to get into school. And I would want that schools are reopened. I am not saying for negotiations to cut off. No. If you got one issue, the government has basically agreed to majority, if not nearly all, of your demands. Of course, then the one with the removal of garden halls is ridiculous. I wouldn't even bring that into a part of discussion. But my thing is that government is acceding to a lot of these things, ensuring that it gets done or is in the process of being done, which, come on, you think the Prime Minister promised you want to deal with it and think that is already being set and etched to happen.
That's why one of the reporter questioned the Prime Minister, and some of the reporter to me are so disrespectful, like this Lee while the Micah and look on the Prime Minister and tell her,
Who is Micah?
Isn't that another politician promise the Prime Minister by you to talk to the PM?
But you have to know who Micah is.
It's exactly 9 o'clock. Tell Luke Palacio stop the play politics with the students. Then believes you could see it clear that he to push on PUP agenda and send the teachers to go back to teach.
We need the teachers back in school.
Somebody said, I will continue to pray for PM. Let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yeah, fine.
Morning.
Listen. Estaba contestando.
Would you listen?
Go
We're
ahead.
listening to you. Adelante.
Yes.
Dylan,
Yes, go ahead.
listen, let I tell you something. You have to make them say them teachers' names. You know why? When they out there on the street, I tell you, because I know a person when they all wrong. And when they up on the street, then they break. Oh, we could do what we want, and they can't stop we. Huh? We could tell people that what they want to do.
Mm-hmm. Well, I say most of the time, if somebody want to do that, they could call the show. But sometimes I have to be careful. They want to use me to say the names. As it is already, I have a lot of people who don't like
and
me.
that's why I tell you, because I don't want businessman, and I they all wrong. And you know what people they do? They know they don't go strike. They drink, they live on trip, because I could tell you, Friday, I go by the terminal, and I see them, some of them, they go with their kids back with their husband, then they go to Chenomal.
Vacation.
Then they go for vacation. Some of them, they ride the 5 diamonds and then place there, they drink up. Oh, we live on we holiday. And we could do what we want. You understand?
Yeah.
So you can't afraid for them things, Dylan.
No, they're not matter of afraid, It's just a matter of,
Yeah, but Dylan, if you listen to it, you know how much people stop cars because they say their names, huh? You understand?
All right, brother, I hear you.
Yeah, but
Thank you.
And you have to understand that of course you have people who will just take advantage of the situation, and you know.
I saw a post up and
teachers are human beings, you know. So you know, such is things, you know. But at the end of the day, we need our teachers back in school to teach, and we need our kids.
Somebody say here most teachers have their own children in school. If they don't care about their own, how will they care about mine? Does Mr. Palacio have any in school? It's 2 minutes after 9 o'clock. We will take a commercial break and we'll be back with more for you on the Sugar City Morning Show.
Mr. Briseño claims that he wants to imprison anyone named in immigration wrongdoing.
Once we get into government, we are going to go through this, and anybody that can be held criminally liable, we are going to hold them liable, and if they have to go to jail, they are going to go to jail. Enough is enough.
But even your name is there. I said for recommending a visa. I said it's an international person. I can't. But it's there in the visa one. That's my point. It's in the visa one. I think it's I saw it once. I saw it.
I did not. I don't remember ever. Please show me the page.
Are Johnny and the PUP ready to lead?
Let's get ready to rumble!
Y'all ready for this?
Get serious. Get bopped.
Oh my god, like seriously? By the way,
Get the lowest rates to more cell, business, and home phones on the country's largest network.
My credit lasts longer, so I could keep up to date.
Police,
check out our brand new website, www.digicel.bz. Get live chat help on any device, the latest in 4G phones, and see what's up with all our awesome Digicel promotions. Log on today.
Johnny Briceño and the PUP went to Belmopan to declare all their assets to the National Assembly. But did they declare everything? Yes, Johnny, bring back the people's money.
Government investment in sporting and recreational facilities countrywide continues under the Belize Infrastructure Limited. In the Cayo District, the Victor Galvez Recreational Park, the Falcon Field basketball court, and the Santa Elena football field are all completed and being enjoyed by the community. The Penquevejo Marshall-Lake Football Stadium is under construction and residents are eagerly anticipating its completion. In Dangriga, the upgrading of the Carl Ramos football field is complete and ready for matches, while the construction of the Dangriga indoor court and multipurpose facility is well underway. In Punta Gorda, the residents are already enjoying the upgraded Toledo Union football field, while the PG indoor court and multipurpose facility is progressing on schedule. The government is committed to building vibrant communities. Your vision, our mission, the government of Belize.
The Barrow administration has put mechanisms in place to weed out wrongdoing in the immigration department. But let us examine what occurred during the PUP tenure. When in September 22, 1992, the permanent secretary in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs was instructed by Syed Musa to write to the Director of Immigration and approve 254 nationality certificates with no oversight, waiving all fees. The certificates bore no photograph of the applicant, and there was no record of swearing in, an oath having been taken. In several other instances, Syed Musa was written to requesting the waiver of the procedures and fees of many persons applying for nationality. They gave away millions of dollars in revenue belonging to the government of Belize.
Buster. They see you and know you're living. Always a star. Yes, you live in color to the limit. Large and in charge. Yes, that's why you rock with Buster. Refreshing range of colorful flavors. Always a star, never the audience. You run things never run you. Yes, you are the life of it, not just a part of it. Your life is never black and white. Live in full color. Buster.
Julius Espat says police beat him up during the incident that he caused at the House meeting.
I've gotten beaten up by the police forces. Someone here beat me up that cool, and they beat me up.
He even filled out a medical report for the police. But, lucky for us, he didn't know what all was caught on tape. Damn! Is Julius telling the truth? You be the judge.
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. 10 minutes after 9 o'clock, we're going a little bit overboard because we know the minister have a very tight schedule to run. But again, somebody here is saying, good morning, I would like to speak to the minister before he leaves the studio. I'm a retired teacher and I need his help concerning, well, I don't know how you could do that. You have to call the show or come try catch him before he go.
Yeah.
You know.
But Dylan, you know, I just like how we come back to the show, I'd like to I know the parent that called that they're organizing a peaceful demonstration, no? I just want to big up the parents that are going out there in support, no? Because I think it is very important, because at the end of the day, just like the teachers have the right to voice their opinions, so do the parents, and I sympathize with them because I am a parent myself, and I want my kids back in school. 2 weeks now, going for a third week, the start of the third week. I don't think any parent out there wants their kids to be home and not getting an education. So I sympathize with those parents.
The teachers on strike are saying that they are willing to catch up for Easter and Christmas. What about the teachers who are going to school? You think it's fair for you to hold them back, allow the students them for Christmas break and Easter break when they never gonna pass no strike?
Right.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
I want to speak to Mr. Lawyer Rabon.
Go ahead.
Minister. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Go ahead, Carla. Good morning.
Minister, I want to talk to you what happened to my license. I don't get nothing yet. I want to know what happened right now.
Now who this?
I think that's up and down like
Pedro, this is a Pedro, no?
Yes, sir.
Pedro from Carmelita. Okay, Pedro, but I think you were not granted a license, my brother.
Right.
Well, I have no idea. You have to ask the commissioner of police.
I don't go to the commissioner of the police and the inspector, all of them tell me, no, in that way I'm picking.
Yeah, well, you have to check.
For them, but I don't get enough for it.
Yeah, you have
so
to.
What you will want to do with me now?
Well, you have to check with the commissioner, my brother. It's only the commissioner who gives out a license. You may ask him, make a look into it. I directed you in what you needed to do in terms of the procedure, and that is it. You know, you have to check with them.
Because you promise something supposed to be your fulfill for me, right? Because
I promise I will assist you in terms.
Also for my right to read.
Pedro, remember I told you that it is up to the commissioner to grant you a license. I don't give out license, my brother. And I told you the procedure, what you needed to do. You did it. I have heard that you were not granted a license, my brother. I can't do nothing else for you. All right?
Okay, then. Well,
okay,
no problem.
sure, man.
Thank you very much, Carlo.
No problem, my brother.
It says here, Mount Carmel School has a group of children in front of the school, and where are the teachers? Enough is enough with the BNTU.
Yeah. Well, you know, Dylan, I think a lot of the sentiments in terms of our parents right now is that BNTU has been given. They have given their BNTU their support, but after these 2 weeks now, priority now is focused on getting their kids back to school. And like I tell you, you know, I sympathize with the parents, and I understand the parents that are going to this demonstration right now. And it's not only in Orange Walk, but in Kaya and other places. I understand them, and I sympathize, and I support them, because as a parent myself, Dylan, I need to see my kids in school, man. I think that is where they belong, and that is what I want to see, you know.
Sugar City? Yeah, so the teachers, they say that they will take a whole month.
You see, and we have to be real, Dylan. At the end of the day, yes, the teachers say, the administration say, well, we can catch up, we can have 1 hour, but how effective is that? Listen to me. We have to be real. When you don't catch up the way you're supposed to catch up if you were teaching from day one. So whatever, when I say, oh, we can catch up and make up time, the reality, it's not the same, Dylan. And at the end of the day, our kids' education is at stake, you know.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
This one here is saying this is a little bit different of tangent what they're talking about. They say, good morning, Dylan. I think the Prime Minister should ask for a special audit from 1998 to present at the Immigration Department, so we uncover the dirtiness of the PUP during the administration. Also, we need to go back to backdate whenever the anti-corruption agreement is signed so that we recover millions of stolen by the PUP. Let them make Johnny declare his assets. Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Hello, good morning. You see that the thing is that a lot of people feel like people not sleep. People is sleeping. You know.
Yeah.
People wide awake out here. You know.
Of course.
Just that some are more vociferous than others. Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Minister.
Yeah, good morning.
Sir, I'm from the bottom of our heart, man. We try pray to God make them sign this paper, man. And I know that you know they have a big influence with the people too, and just like the PUP, right? They have a big influence. You know, please, man, make the man sign this paper, man. And make the teachers and go back to school because we see they suffer. Right now, we're gonna take sometimes when just they play wrong and something will happen. And
You know what the paper about? You know what the paper about? What if they sign? Do you know what is the paper about that they should sign? You just want to sign the paper. The Prime Minister explained to it over and over that thing, that not just for sign nothing. First thing, we're in a tight position financially, you have to find money for set up another unit for that. People, you just, the thing don't work like that. Then thing I just sign. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yeah, morning, Elon.
Yes, morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Well, you say, apart from this one right now, I'm calling from Chapter, right?
Okay.
So I just this about this road, man. It's like this weekend, if it's going to send and read it, and they never repair it. They made a mess out of it right now. The people can't even ride with it next to it like that. Lots of stones.
Yeah.
So, but why they want to do that?
They just repair the street now. I know you might call this thing on street now. Really, it's a mess right now.
All right.
So I want to say if you could please help me do something, man.
Yeah, well, we'll look at it. Definitely, we'll look at it. I mean, we have always fixed the streets, but you know what the difference between the UDP and the PUP is that when UDP do it, we do it good, as opposed to the PUP who just do it for camouflage, right? Because I think the problem is there, I think another person has mentioned this to me, is that they just send the grader out there from the tongue board. The tongue board send their grader, and they just kind of scrape the street. They don't carry no roller, nothing. And you know, when you deal with the street, if you don't have a roller, you waste your time. You're just making it worse. You know? I got out there already, man. I don't see it.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, thanks. I've seen it already, you know. And definitely when you're dealing with roads, you have to have the roller to ensure you get that road. Because it's not just great dust, etc.
And they don't think of that bad mind, you know, because they know that they can't just grade the street and leave it like that. But
I think it's more a camouflage job that you know, just for try show that, well, we try. You understand me? Mm-hmm. But I've always believed, because on grader, we could have sent grader over there a long time ago look on that, but we need the
full force.
You need the full force so that it stays well, no?
Yeah, you need the full force. Good. Let's see who's on the line. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello, my name is Mr. Radon.
Yeah, good morning.
Mr. Dillon, I only want to give my opinion of on the school.
Mm-hmm.
My daughter and my nephew, everybody go right to Louisiana school. My daughter teacher, she go every day at school. Because I check and my husband checked at school. And that my daughter teacher, every day she did at school. But only about 3-4 years it need to go to school. And if I send my daughter and you want to go to the bathroom or something and something happens to my little girl, that is the problem where I have.
Yeah.
But right now, a lot of kids, Mr. Dillon, you sit on the street. It's only girls that on the street, only boys. I said them teachers supposed to think, make them think about themselves, but make them think about the kids. Because we as parents, we pay for we them fees. Every time we have to pay for we fees.
Right.
And I know that make them do their shit, make them do whatever they want. Because right now we have to go to Merida for one that date what they give me. And I do keep part because I know I'm going to say school when we resume and I go wait in Merida, I can't send my daughter. That's why the wait time I have to go and last 2 weeks I may have to go to Merida. So I say I do wait, and I do wait. I just don't want surgery, but then to make a name one name
one teacher will come out on me. I just came on surgery. And I would have wanted out there to demonstrate the truth for my kids and all of the Banaka kids because what parents have been afraid, Mr. Dillon. They're afraid. When like a parents afraid, things really happened at school. Parents not start. One time I call you, Mr. Dillon. I call you, remember? When I tell my daughter at school. You know, teacher me there right there. The principal, they up and down, instead they go and check the kids if the teacher did it or not did it. So I know that when they available grades appear and everything, let them do their job, how they have to do it, Mr. Dillon, because I know all of the teachers, they didn't do, because they have a lot of teachers, Mr. Dillon, that they know they do the correct job. They have the kids right there, then school there. I have one teacher right now, where I have on my eye, where she the pants to stick and everything, and it tells the kids, when you trip it, when you don't, then I love to make one teacher tell one kid, Mr. Dillon.
Yeah.
So I know it as Mr. Aragon, if it please, when school starts, let him take his time and let him go check right at that school, the Louisiana government school, because one lot of things they happen, Mr. Dillon, and I said that's not supposed to be, because if you have or if you don't have money, all away the parents. And I think that's not fair that said no, that school, and especially government school, Mr. Dillon, because that's first time that it happened. And my daughter, my kids then cry and I have to go to school. But we can do better. We could send them. But if then they're right there and they're not pay no mind to my kids, then what will happen?
True.
Yeah.
So I asked Mr. Lajo to please, as the teachers and we as parents, we could put yourself and make us put yourself on tomorrow and stand up right there and let the teachers go teach right there. We understand that they want them pay and everything. But they're supposed to understand we as parents, one lot of kids, kids back right now.
Yeah.
They have a lot of kids they start to think that what will happen when school starts again? They will start again battery again, so that the teacher will not think good for the kids. They said the purity is our children. That are not true, Mr. Dillon. They just start to talk. They should have shown it and let them go and let them teach the technique. I would have wanted my daughter, Mr. Dillon.
Okay.
But I don't want my daughter and anything happen to me. You understand?
Right.
All right.
If it happen right now, you can't trust nobody right now, Mr. Dillon.
Okay, thanks for calling.
Thanks.
Yes, Mr. Dillon. Have a nice day.
You
okay. You say those are the sentiments a lot of our parents, and I understand them. So a lot of people say, well, the parents support the BNTU. Most parents support because they understand the kids. That is not the truth. You know, the reality is that as a parent, you are responsible for your kid. You know, you worry about your kid. If I send in a school and I'm a teacher, there's not enough teachers to supervise that child. I mean, I send your child.
Yeah.
And I think that is the situation that we find ourselves in, because parents want to know that, one, their child will be safe, two, that they'll be they'll get the education.
Taught well.
Taught, and if that does not happen, then why will I send my child? My child is safe at home, and I think that is a sentiment. But at this point in time, I'm telling as a parent, you having your kids at home is putting a stress on you, especially if you have to work. Like the Carla mentioned, she has to go for an operation, and she can't go because you have to deal with the kids at home. These are the things how it is impacting not our parents and also affecting our kids at the end of the day.
Let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Dillon.
Yes, Chief, good
Sorry, I
morning.
have to call again, but right at the Louisiana school, I know most of the parents in that area, and I have at least 6 calls from parents, and then they complain for this guy Ayuso, Enrique Ayuso, and say he's the main leader there who has organized a few of the teachers, and together when the children come, he tell them no classes, no go home, no go back, we don't teach nobody. I think we have to look at this, at the teachers like that. They go beyond, and I think. Well, everybody know, I believe you know it, and so I'm told by the parents, everybody tells me, Mr. Ravan, you know, a big PUP, and everything, every time the children come, he says, oh, you can't go to classes, you have to get back home. I think that's a nonsense, man, the children go there, but they stay there. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, they're doing that. We mentioned from the beginning that it is wrong. If you're on strike, stay home.
Stay home
not calling the system to try mess up the system, because it really behave like some snipers or operatives where they try help crumble the brick wall.
What's the color? Union strengthening.
Union strengthening, union busting.
Because if anybody goes and do the opposite, then figure
union
that with the bust the union. But I do think that, well, I mean, yeah, that's life, my brother. I think in every place we go, you have people who take advantage of these situations,
Sugar City Morning Show, hello. Hello.
We want Parliament to sign the United Nations Convention Against Corruption. Please stand up to the people.
All right, but my brother,
let me tell you that the government will sign it.
That is already worked.
But you can't tell the Prime Minister to sign it today.
You should talk about that. You should talk about corruption.
But if you know that, why you want me to tell you again? You know that the Prime Minister in December will sign it.
You don't talk about corruption. You don't talk about corruption going on with that man that is in front of television.
You want me you want to remind you about corruption? You want to remind you that who said bring back? Tell me something then, if you know more of me. That who said bring back the millions they want to go in a foreign account? Who said that? Wait man, no man. Make I ask you something. I ask you a question. You want to talk to me? You want to hang up on you?
That is corruption.
You want me to hang up or you answer my question? The who said bring back the millions? The who? The Gaspar or Johnny? No man, you say I give you a break for me.
You can't talk to these persons because they are fanatics, and the sad thing with fanatics is that they are not informed.
Johnny said bring back the millions, ding dong.
If he was informed, Dylan, he would know that the Prime Minister has already agreed to the United Nations corruption bill. The Prime Minister has already agreed to that, along with the Chamber of Commerce, who supports the Prime Minister's decision in that it will be signed officially on the 9th of December. And why they are doing that is because just like the Chamber of Commerce has agreed with the Prime Minister, you can't just sign a United Nations bill and not have the things in place that are required of you to have the bill become effective, which means you have to have an office. We have to establish an office. We have to hire people. You have to ensure you have your secretary or the person in charge. Everything, the secretariat has to be set up so that it's functional. And everybody agree with Prime Minister with that. You understand me? So people like them don't look at the issues. They don't listen to the facts. They have their political agendas. Exactly. And it's sad. And we have many of them who are using this as an opportunity for them to further their political agenda.
Let's take this call. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Yes,
morning.
Yeah,
good, right here.
I could do something. So that call I was just calling to talk about corruption. Dylan, I know check you got the audio somewhere in studios where John Briseno can clearly be heard saying, bring back the millions that they don't have in the offshore account, bring it back to the PUP, that the PUP needed. He did not even say that this is the country of Belize that needs it. He wanted it for his PUP colonies. So let us play that audio and also play the audio where he was talking to that boy Chel concerning all the corruption that was happening with the government of the United States and himself as the Deputy Prime Minister.
Right.
Let the people hear his voice clearly, man. We cannot forget what the PUP did. We cannot let them use the NTU as a smoke screen to defer what is the reality. So I beg you, check a look for the audio and play it out so that the people can listen to it. Just that specific part where he's saying, bring back the millions to the PUP.
Okay.
And also a part so that we can hear how he and Chelo, how he confessed to Chelo everything that was happening. And so much in trust Chelo. Is it what Chelo doing? They kind of put it out to make everybody hear. But make me play the audio before we call out the show today.
Okay, sure. Thanks.
Somebody say, please tell the parents if they call and complain that will not help. They need to take a stand. Remember, there are more parents than teachers.
That's true. Very true.
Somebody may say to every parents they have like 25 students to one parents to one teacher.
And Dylan, when you're in this situation, you have to understand exactly what they call it. They say, they are ready to jump on their personal agendas and not even understanding the issues. They talk about corruption. People they have to understand really who are the corrupt people we have in this country.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, morning. Hey, good morning.
Yes, morning. Yes, sir, Ronnie, go ahead.
Like you just read a text just know about the parents. Well, parents are more than teachers, no? And that's a true fact. But now, these strikes have gone on for too long, I think, you know. And I'm a parent, you know.
Yeah.
And I think now it's on the parents to take their kids to school. And then if the teachers do not show up to teach our kids, then we need to take action. You understand? But we need to come together now as parents. Because it's already guaranteed their 3%. As far as I'm concerned, I stand to be corrected. And they already got that I think they're saying they're working on it. They have gotten more than they were bargaining for at the beginning. Because at the beginning it was their 3%. They got that 3% and what our issue was, I believe. Now, they got that in class, back in classrooms. Now, we parents have to come together and take our kids to school. So they can have no excuse saying, all right, kids are not in school, so that now we teachers are the fault because we try. They are trying to put the blame squarely on us. And now we have to step up as parents of this country and let them know that BNTU won't dictate our country. Because we don't live in a dictated country where nobody will come and group of people and come and jump up and holler, oh, we don't have to do this, oh, we don't have to do that. We don't work so.
Yeah.
That is the same reason right now they could come as a union and protest against the government because we are a democratic country. But no, they're not hating democratic.
Yeah.
They have already made their protest. They have already made their point. Now they are standing up and saying, well, no can't touch we now because we have this at DNCU and the teachers are replaceable and they can't find replacements for we. So no one but we stand right here. That is dictating. And that is no longer democratic. That is holding our country ransom. And to me, as a parent, that is just my humble opinion this morning, and I think it is wrong. It is time for the teachers to look up their man what they do. Will they stay out of class, or will they put their butts in the class? Simple as that. And us as parents, let's join hands together, take our kids to school bright and early tomorrow morning. Thank you very much and have a nice day.
Sure. Well, definitely, you know, I mean, these sentiments from parents are legitimate, and I do think that for a large extent, most of what are the demands are being dealt with. And I think the kids, it's about time for them to get back to school. And I do think, you know, and I do think that in terms of when you look at this whole situation is that at the end of the day, the people to lose here are the parents and the kids, nobody else, you know.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Good morning once more. Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Minister, Mr. Aragon, I would like to know, because morning.
Yes, morning. Go ahead, caller. We are listening to you.
I would like to know, sir. I know, right, that the tax. So, for one station, that's tax something good to benefit one. The next station tax for next thing to benefit them.
No, we talk for benefit all.
All right, I want to know something, Dylan. We don't know the answer to the development. I want to know. Make a tax, then you tax. I want to know if this is true where the next station they take out that. Oh, Mr. Gapi Vega, he is on $400,000 for a piece of land, but it's because that's our corruption too, and I want to make them washing on him good that we don't hear that. This is the thief, this one are the corrupt. Make all of them minister with the thief, go back to jail, man. We want to know about that. You understand? Make the Belizean people stop with this thing.
So
and then think that
you want me to answer that question?
And make this thing done, man.
All right.
Sign this thing and do who
Well, the Prime Minister don't say I sign it. He don't say he say I sign it in December.
If you know about the big scandal what happened to Marian Jones thing, the man don't wash his hand. The man said that he know nothing about it, and the man declared it safe. Can you robbery come out of that? The man don't wash his hand, you understand?
What's in here about?
We
better get the facts, get your facts together. Can you talk about Marian Jones? We have no understanding of what is that. And like
the Prime Minister was signed the bill in on the 9th of December. What part of that you understand? You could even explain to me that what the UNCAC bill about? You the talk about that crazy.
But these are PUP persons who want to come and...
not try greasy.
Yeah, but my thing is simple, Dylan. And to answer his question, in terms of corruption, I have always said, at the end of the day, we as politicians are put here by the people. You understand me, Dylan? And at the end of the day, we will have to answer to the people. And that is it. I can answer for any minister. You know, I answer for myself. Of course, I stand for what is best for this country. But my thing is that a lot of people out there, the PUP, you have to understand, the PUP has carried on the backs of the BNTU. They are having the BNTU do their work. And because they don't have no credibility, the PUP have no credibility, and things like this, they use the opportunity to push their agenda through organizations like BNTU. And I'll tell you that is a reality. Without a doubt, nobody can tell me that Gianni Briseño does not have his hand in this pot. You understand me? He has, and that is his job. But it is sad because majority of the teachers out there, Dylan, are fighting for what they believe are good things. But they are getting railroaded because of the PUP. And we have a lot of PUP teachers who are there pushing the PUP agenda.
Right.
And this is where we skew from things. And I think at this point in time, a lot of parents out there support the teachers, but at this point in time, Dylan, that support is dwindling because at the end of the day, the ones that will be affected are parents and their kids.
Yep.
And I think like a lot of parents have been expressing this morning on the radio and elsewhere all through town, is the fact that they want to see their kids go back to school. And I agree with them and I support them because I am a parent and I understand exactly what they are going through. You know, I do believe that the BNTU leadership needs to keep away politics out of this. It is difficult for them to do so because they have politically motivated persons there, like Luke Palacio. You understand me? They have their own political agendas and they have the PUP pushing them to push certain agendas. Some things as ridiculous as wanting to dictate to the Prime Minister who he has to appoint as a minister, which is, you know, uncalled for.
Hello, good morning.
Please lower the volume of the radio.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
What I am sitting in and listening to this group now, I just think this thing that between the group and the government now, I don't think the teacher have much to do with it.
Right.
Because what Luke wants to do, Luke wants the Prime Minister to bow down to him and give him what he needs, and the PUP, they will come together and holler, we got them, we got them.
Yeah.
This is a PUP tradition, this is a fight against the PUP, they are fighting against the government along with Luke.
Maybe
Luke is known as a PUP Luke.
Maybe Luke should have the party leader.
Yeah.
Everybody should know Palacio is a PUP and Palacio going way out with the help from the PUP, the financial, with cash, that he will do anything to dominate the teachers. Then the poor teachers don't know that Luke is trying to diminish their job or something like that. One morning I was here, they said we don't get red book, we don't get blue book. But why can't they tell the teacher they might get green book district, right? Because the solidarity was under green for them. So maybe Luke will push green book and then no, who knows? Who knows after this what will happen? Who knows?
Okay.
Yeah.
So teachers open their eyes and get back to work and teach the children then, and let Luke play politics and not Ono. Thank you all.
Yeah, okay, Carla. And you know, just to touch on one point that the Carla brought up, we all know who the PUP are. And you could always see it in the actions, Dylan. When you look at the Senate, for instance, the Senate Select Committee, right?
Yeah.
The PUP is saying they will boycott this. They have no grounds to boycott the Select Senate Committee.
Disrespectful.
This is very disrespectful. Listen to me. Senate is a part of the parliament in terms of how we govern this country. They have gone to the House, they voted, the government has acceded from 3 to 2. Now they are saying they want equal part in this 1-1. How ridiculous is that? The government does not have majority with 2, you know. There's 2 UDP senators as composed to 3 what you call social partners and 1 PUP. They already have majority 2 to 4. You understand me? If all of them come together. So in no way is there the Senate is being the UDP have a majority in the Senate, but the PUP wants you and the people of this country to believe that, oh, things not fair, etc. This is political agendas of the PUP, and it is so sad that they have the BNTU, things like this, the things of where you want to have the Prime Minister dictated to as to who he is to appoint as a minister. All these things are PUP political agenda, and they have one way or the other infiltrated on the BNTU and wagon these points. And it's so sad that Luke and others have taken up these agendas. But we can't blame them because they have their personal agendas. But my thing is to the teachers, listen, you have to be wary of these things. You have to be open-minded, and at the end of the day, you will understand that to a large extent, and I do think, and I'm hoping that this thing, a resolution is found sometime this week, because we need our kids to get back to school. And I ask parents, listen, you have to be objective. Don't make the PUP fanatics out there take you for a ride. Don't make them ride on the backs of you, because you as teachers work and contribute a lot to this country. And it is so sad when you get railroaded because you have the PUP who are working in the shadows and within yourself, within your BNTU to carry you all and to carry their political agendas. And to a large extent, these are some of the things that have happened. And I do think that at the end of the day, even the support of the parents that you have had, to a large extent, that support will be dwindling, because me as a parent, I want to see my kids back in school, and the only way they could go back to school is if the teachers return to school to work and to do their job, which is to teach.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Llamando de acá de San Joaquín.
Ajá.
Quiero preguntarle, esos maestros están en huelga, si saben que lo que quieren de esa firma que está muy apurado, no saben que van a caer en sus mismas trampas. Quiero que me contesten si eso va a servir solo para el gobierno, no para toda la nación. Cuando llega corrupción, pues será complicado.
Sí, of course.
¿No saben eso? ¿Por qué están apurados? Los van a hacer su misma trampa. No sé qué me contestan.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, of course, the anti-corruption bill is not only for ministers. A lot of people feel that only for the government, it has to do a lot with everything.
Whole system.
The whole system. You know, and
you think that some people want to know that when if this bill signed December, that everything after that will be accredited for, because some people want to go back to 98, make the kids somebody PUP, they go hand.
If I go back there, I could tell you the whole of PUP right now, most of them would be in serious trouble. You understand me? The thing is that I think for better governance of this country, of course, we have to put in systems to improve the system of governance. That is without a doubt.
Without a doubt, yeah.
And I think to a large extent, some of
they put it in a place so that when the PUP come back, they can't do what they were doing in 98 and 9 times.
Yeah, but I think it is
the country.
What the Prime Minister is working on are things that will be in place to ensure we have greater accountability, to ensure that, you know, we have a better system of governance. And I think that is what the teachers wanted. And of course, I think it is best for the country as we progress into becoming a more developed nation. But of course, at this point in time, where we are in terms of this strike, Dylan, we need our kids back in school. We need the parents to go back to teach. The teachers to go back to teach. And we need to have the support of the parents to help to ensure that we get our kids back to school. And the way we handle this is by showing the teachers that parents are the ones who have them where they are, who have the teachers where they are. Because without the parents sending their kids to school, we won't have any school.
So we parents really need to get up and fight. We only have about 6 or 7 weeks in school, and I think some of these teachers don't want their jobs.
Yeah. You know, Dylan, like I said, we could
Minister needs to start hiring new teachers.
Yeah, I don't think we want to go there. I do think that it's always open for communication and negotiations, and for us to sit at the table and really be sincere, you know, sitting there, you know, to trying to find a resolution for this thing, and not for it to be to have that political agenda in there that hampers from finding a amicable resolution, you know. And because, Dylan, I'll tell you, at the end of the day, no matter what they say, no matter how the PUP rides on the backs of the BNDU, because of some people, the Belizean public, to a large extent, Dylan, understands and knows who the PUP are. The PUP can't hide no matter what they do, because their hand is always in there which is for things that are not good. And I will tell you that is why less than about 9 months ago, this country came out and voted for the United Democratic Party government. And I think a lot of people still support this government big time.
I think
yes, we have had issues in terms of these things, and we always have issues. But at the end of the day, he figured that things could happen. But we know out there, the public knows out there who the PUP is. They understand the leadership of Johnny Briseño and what it brings. I am telling you, we all know that what the PUP stands for. And Johnny Briseño is not a new kid on the block. In our old tree with long roots in terms of knowing exactly what has transpired, and he was part and parcel of everything that brought this country to the brink of chaos in terms of when the PUP was in power. And we can't take that away when we have to understand that we have to know his role. And all you have to do is drive around this town and you will see how Johnny Briceño has come to be who he is today because of many, many things that have gone wrong with the PUP in the past. And we can't take that way, and nobody could take one erase and erase those things. Those things have been etched in our history and unforgivable, and definitely not only unforgivable, Dylan, but it would be a tragedy if we even as Belizeans consider to put them back into power, I tell you. You know, and I am confident the people will not do that. And yes, we need to settle this issue and get our kids back to school, you know.
Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
You explain to us how you guys get Mr. Oriano or Guatemalan to be part of the board of directors in tourism.
We're not entertaining.
Yeah, but you know, I think you know, it's a PUP stuff, right?
All I want to say is that if the teachers want to strike, let them be used by and to be used by Palacio. But Mr. Barrow, do not allow them to get their way. You take your time. Let us see who can withstand it. You see again a lot of the sentiments of people out here that some people are kind of happy that Mr. Barrow they listen to them, but to be real, some people are kind of not too happy because they figure Mr. Barrow they give in, they cave in too easy to their demands, exactly. Right? But only Mr. Barrow can answer that question. I mean,
well, I think the Prime Minister is trying his best to find an amicable resolution, and I think you know, I mean, definitely in certain things, you know, like the investigator, etc. I wouldn't even if it was me, I wouldn't even entertain that, because knowing from my history and my experience in the police department, they're just a waste of taxpayers' money.
Say, will the corruption bill deal with something about those drunken teachers too?
Yeah. But you know, Dylan, there's a lot of things happening out there, and in politics, I will tell you, you will always have challenges, you know. Right now, we are going through a transition in niche in my own ministry, where we are trying to find the best people that will move this organization forward. And then you do come up with resistance, because, you know, change brings resistance. But at the end of the day, we want to see a change that will impact this country, you know, will impact that ministry. And I think that at the end of the day, that is what people have voted for you to be there for.
Right.
And that is why the Prime Minister has given you that portfolio. And I want to ensure that I do my utmost best to put there. But you have people who are there who are finding issues to try to derail that movement, and I do think that we will continue to be strong. I have always said that I will always stand my ground, because whatever I do, I try to do in the best interest of this country, Delon, and the best interest for the people of this country. And once I do that, Delon, I've always said, you know, once you have done right, you definitely could stand your ground strong and firm, and you could look people in the eye and tell them, you know what, I did what was right, and you stand by it. And you know, I like I said, those are the issues. But the PUP always wants to come in. Other people with personal agendas want to come in, because certain changes brings about how would I put it? They are afraid to change the status quo. But change is good. Change is good, because we need to move with things. And I do think that at this point in time, everything is going well in the ministry. We are going through a transition, and very shortly, hopefully by the end of the month, we will be very, very close to having that transition in place, you know.
Okay.
But to the people of Orange Walk, especially to my people in the East, I want to see, and especially to our teachers and parents out there, I am in support of the parents out there. I am in support of the teachers, but I think to a large extent right now, it is not a matter of where your support lies. It is a matter of what our kids are doing. At this present time, them being at home is not going nowhere for us. We need to have them back in schools. I ask parents, if the schools are open where their kids go, send your kids to school. That is one way that we can tell the parents we want our kids back in school. I also ask teachers out there, if you go to school, then teach, do your job and teach, man. We need to get this ball going. I know things has to be resolved one way or the other. I'm hoping it happens this week, Dylan. I was optimistic last week that it was going to happen. It did not, and hopefully that this week we could find a resolution.
Take it one day at a time.
But definitely we need to ensure that at the end of the day, that our kids get back into the school. And the sooner they get back into the school, Dylan, the better for our community,
Right.
And I do think that negotiations can always carry on, because to a large extent the government has conceded to a lot in terms of working to get it done. And I ask that we go back to school, let the teachers go back to school, let the parents send their kids, and I applaud all those parents that are voicing their opinion right now.
Let's take this last call for this morning. Sugar City Morning Show, hello.
Buenos días.
Buenos
Yo
días.
solo quería seguir la conversación de Luciana Government School, donde hay un maestro, dijo aquel que llamó, esa persona que llamó dijo que Orlando Ayuso, también el señor Miguel Kawich es otra persona, otro maestro que está destruyendo la mente de nuestros niños. En vez de ser positivo y un hombre de integridad, son hombres que de veras no tienen nada de integridad ni nada de honestidad. ¿Por qué tienen que mandar a los niños a sus casas? Cuando sí saben que están en huelga, que se vayan a su casa. Gracias.
Okay.
Well, with that, we want to thank all of you who call, because if we're not cut off, we'll never get out of the show. And I know you have a busy schedule. I want to thank you for dropping by, and I know that you drop back probably sometime in the week to give us
Sure, man,
an update.
always. And we are hopeful, Delon, that we'll find one resolution to this thing. I think right now, going for the third week, it will adversely affect our kids, especially. And I know the parents are feeling the impact. That is why we find parents out there doing a peaceful demonstration today. I support you all out there, because I know at the end of the day, he who feels it knows it. And I know the parents are going through things. As a parent myself,
Rough.
I have 3 kids at home right now, and I would like to see them back in school. And that is where I stand with the parents for that. And I ask the teachers, please, make we try to resolve this thing. Do not allow the PUP to continue to jump on your backs and use you all in their political pawns. No?
With that, Mr. Aragon, I want to say thanks for dropping by. We won't take any more calls for this morning, and we'll be back with you tomorrow for more on the Sugar City Morning Show. We keep an update on what's going on. For now, it's exactly 8 minutes away from 10 o'clock. We will be saying so long for now. For Robert Checker, show director, Mr. Morris Kokom and camera, Rahim Wagner and control, my name is Dylan Jones. This has been the Sugar City Morning Show. Until tomorrow, so long, God bless you.
Sugar City Morning Show.